Hey, Cowboy here. I see you're checking out some of our first season. Excellent choice. Great vintage stuff. Pairs well with steak. Just a few notes. In Season 1, the name of the show was actually Head to Head, a video game podcast. But it's still the same show that you've come to love or will learn to love if this is your first time listening. So in either case, thanks for listening, and welcome to GameCorp.
Director Frank, this is Agent Torque, dummy name Goodwin. I've made contact with the supposed good guys who've infiltrated GameCorp and disguised themselves as simple podcast hosts. And I gotta say, put Grandma to bed, buddy, because these guys have to be some of the most convincing, deep-cover agents I've ever encountered. The only other explanation would be they're actually complete idiots who've made it this far on blind luck alone, which is next to impossible. No, they must be operating on a covert level leagues above me. With that said, I've given them the lead on this one as I'm currently being held captive in some sort of smelly dungeon prison beneath GameCorp. I've only uncovered a fraction of the intel, but my gut tells me it's far worse than we feared. Whatever diabolical plans the boss has, he's hatching them tonight. So, I've given these podcasters the Game Shark and instructed them to find the main terminal at the heart of this labyrinth. Hopefully then we can shed some light on what's really happening here at GameCorp and how we can stop it. I'll patch you through to the podcasters' mics so you can listen in on their progress, but I should first let you know that Head to Head, a video game podcast, is a semi-fictional show that contains scenes of narrative elements, like this one, as well as some mature content and a whole lot of immature content. So, if...
Ahem.
Looks like my daily torture session is here early. Well, enjoy the show then.
You may want to get comfortable, for today's art is extra long and extra spicy.
Do your worst, buddy. I could take it.
Very well. Let's begin. Star Fox, the half-fox, half-demon, half-Navy SEAL underwear model pilot, had always fancied Birdo, the sexy pink astrophysicist witch who wore a mini-skirt lab coat and knew how to do every TikTok dance perfectly. Ever since their erotically charged battle atop the Empire State Building.
Did you guys hear that?
What? The dripping water noise that hints we're in a dark, dank place?
The unsettling deep rumble that lets you know we're deep underground, maybe?
No, it sounded like nothing. Because nothing's happening. We've been walking for hours.
He said we had to go pretty deep into here to find the terminal.
Yeah, dude, we're trying to take down the boss. It's not something you could do in 2.5 hours flat, man.
But I thought dungeon crawling was going to be exciting. But it's so boring.
Well, they do call it a crawl.
Oh, finally!
What? What was that?
Hidden pressure plate with a skull symbol on it.
Oh, fuck. Run!
Hey, now we're talking!
Dude, just shut up and crouch run.
Look! The spike pit! Classic!
Dude, jump! Jump!
Pull me up!
Oh, I got you!
Oh, man. Come on.
I told you needed to play more platformers!
Shut up!
Come on, guys. I think it's this way.
Okay.
Oh, tripwire. Genius level trap design.
Oh, crap.
What? Oh, God!
Whoa!
Oh, it's snakes!
No, run! Again!
Oh, man, snakes! I love snakes!
No, JB, don't try to pat them! Run!
Can't I just have one? I've always wanted to rescue.
No, get rid of them!
Sorry, Sergeant Slithers. It just wasn't meant to be.
Okay. Well, at least the snakes aren't chasing us. I mean, that's good, right?
Oh, man.
Fuck.
Oh, what now?
Arrow trap, pit of spikes, killer snakes, yep. I guess as far as classic dungeons go, that just leaves the boulder.
Boulder?
What?
Yeah, that thing rolling down the tunnel at us?
Oh, damn it. Run!
Run!
Look, a crawl space! Duck it in there!
Okay, wait, guys, wait for me!
No, JB, dive! Dive! Oh, shoot. Ooh. Oh, shoot. That was close, dude. You were almost a JB sandwich.
Don't you ever say that to me again.
Guys, can we take a break? So I can, lay down and die for a minute?
Yeah, I am beat. We can spare 10 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect. It's probably just enough time to do the intro.
What, dude? Intro?
Yeah, you know, diddle little. Welcome to the 24th episode.
Hey. That's it. JB's got the dreaded cave madness.
Yeah.
Should you put him down, or do you want me to do it?
Dude, we can't do the podcast. We have nothing to record with.
Okay, weird you'd say that, because we're actually recording right now.
What?
We are?
Oh, yeah, I stitched the microphones into the adventure packs I made you.
What, you did?
Fanny packs?
Of course I did. I've been hiding mics everywhere in GameCorp. How do you guys think I get all the recordings of all that stuff that happens outside of our office?
I don't know, man. I thought it was through the magic of fucking editing.
Nope, just the simple magic of planting tiny spy mics on fellow employees and bribing Luke to hack the intercom systems into an NSA-level eavesdropping tool. Cool, huh?
Yeah, kind of not cool, I mean.
Wait a minute. Is this why sometimes you seem to know, like, random things for no reason at all?
Sure, we could tie that into it.
Fine. So, what? We record the podcast and try to take down the boss at the same time?
Sure, I figured we could do a little walk and talk episode, like West Wing or something. We save Goodwin, or Torque or whatever, secretly ruin the boss's promotion, record the whole thing as an episode, and keep our jobs in the process. It's a win-win-win-win, baby.
Huh.
I mean, it couldn't hurt. And it's the season finale, so I think people would hate us if we didn't put out an episode.
All right. Well, play the diddle little little, I guess.
Cool.
Welcome to the 24th episode of Head to Head, a video game broadcast brought to you from a fucking cave. I don't know if you guys have been listening, or are currently listening, but we are in a cave system beneath GameCorp.
Well, to be fair, I think it's more of like a dungeon type vibe.
I'd say labyrinth, probably.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's semantics. We are currently wandering the possible catacombs, looking for a terminal that we will probably never find and die. But we still didn't want to disappoint you guys, so here we are, bringing you the 24th episode of Head to Head.
Yep, hope you're happy.
Yep. As always, I am your host, Cowboy.
I'm Ultimate Survivor Man Jake.
And I'm JB, a.k.a. Jaimin Belmont.
Oh, damn it.
Okay.
Put in a whip noise.
In today's battle, we're going to be taking you on a journey. That's right. This is a walk and talk episode. You're coming with us.
Swing.
Yeah, we're trying to find our way out of here. And we're going to be facing off two contenders for the title of Great Old Ones of Metroidvania between Super Metroid and Super Castlevania 4. Now, you might be asking, you might be asking, why those ones? Because technically there could be, tighter matches. Two reasons. One of them is the boss told us to. The second reason is we consider these the best of the classic era. We wanted to play some fun-ass games for this one, so we did. They might not be the perfect match, as in Super Metroid is more of a Metroidvania than Castlevania 4, whatever. But they're fun, they're awesome, and we're going to battle them. You're going to see who comes out on top tonight.
And
Hell yeah.
And thematically, I think they're great because I am super scared of a vampire coming out and killing me right now. And I also feel like this whole place is ominous and creepy, and there might be some sort of mutant in the shadows that'll suck my blood. So thematically, these games are perfect for the current situation that we're in.
Yeah, it seems like a very real personality, a very real possibility. And a personality that we could meet and make friends with.
And we're not in this dungeon unprepared. I have personally packed adventure packs for all of us.
They're called fanny packs. And yeah, he did pack our fanny packs.
Yeah, I packed that fanny.
No.
Jesus. I mean, they're a little big for fanny packs, right? Like, I mean, I got this one slung under my shoulder. Okay, it's kind of nice, man.
They're very useful.
It's like a goddamn Barney bag, though. You got a lot of shit in here.
Yeah.
It's the Mary Poppins style.
Well, what did you pack in them?
Well, I packed specific things for each of us, like based off of, the types of things we might need in stressful circumstances, in situations where our life is on the line. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like, a mystery bag filled with things that you're going to need at some point.
So these Twizzlers, like they saved my life how?
Well, that's just yummy.
I guess I could eat them.
I mean, I get the caloric intake, but like, dude, my bag's just full of receipts. Like, there's a lot of receipts in here.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's just one receipt from CVS from when I bought the fanny packs.
What'd you put in yours then, JB?
Oh, I got all sorts of stuff. I got some chapstick,
Okay.
cherry flavor. Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
What do I got here? Oh, a Desert Eagle. Yep, that'll come in handy.
He brought a gun.
You finally brought a gun.
Of course.
This is the
course
first
you
time
did.
I would say thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually not going to take it away.
I mean, you all, you try to stop me, but when push comes to shove, it comes to shoot. What else do I
Comes
got?
to
Oh my God.
Desert Eagle.
I have an abacus.
An abacus.
Yeah, in case we need to do some quick maths,
Do you know how much smaller a calculator is? And probably cheaper?
Yeah, but an abacus uses no electricity. It's good for the environment.
Sure, if we meet a Mesopotamian traitor from 2,000 years ago.
Yes. This should help
We
us
might.
calculate our silk tax.
Yes.
Very nice.
And then an expired pack of juicy fruit.
Are they ever not expired?
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
Last
Why do I-
forever.
Why do
If
I
they
have a
never start in the
stapler
first place.
remover but no staples?
I don't know. I didn't pack
Oh.
that. Did you pack that?
I packed that, yeah. Never mind. I'm sorry. Because it looks like a little monster, and I like to put my fingers like their eyes on the top,
yeah.
and I make them go, "Hey, I'm gonna bite you."
Yeah, like a vampire. Like, wow.
Has anybody not done that with a staple remover?
Yeah, yeah. I call him Chompy. You're right. I did bring Chompy.
Aw, Chompy.
Yeah.
He's definitely not a Chekhov's gun for later. Don't look out for him.
Well, this should be a fun episode, anyways. Not sure where we're going. Where do you guys think this tunnel leads?
Well, it looks like it leads to a dead end.
Oh, what? Oh,
Yeah.
All right, so this is over before it
Well,
started.
fuck.
You guys got any ideas?
There's something behind those like hanging vines from the wall. Do you see that? It's like a scrawling, like a scribbling. Jake, move those vines.
Yeah, sure, dude. Whoa! Hey, check it out. It looks like some sort of writing. Here. Did anybody bring a light? Flashlight? Phones, maybe?
JB?
Something?
You packed a light, right?
Did you pack a flashlight?
Any form of light source? Rocks to bang together?
I'll just turn my phone on bright here. Okay, and let me hold it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I packed Jake's phone.
Neat, thanks. Okay. Hey, it looks like a bunch of writing here, and let's see. Looks like a question, dudes. So,
Like
I
a
guess-
riddle?
like, I don't know, man. Like, okay, so we usually have, I don't know, listener questions in the episode. Can we use this? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, hey, listeners out there, this round of listener questions is brought to you by nothing. We're trapped in a labyrinth, and I hope to see my family again. Cool. So, okay, so this says, so like, of all the Nintendo characters, who do you think raps the best? Do you think Samus
Oh.
does like an old school beat like Beastie Boys? Do you know Falco sounds like he was on a Columbia Records doing Wu-Tang shit kind of stuff? And Kirby probably does mumble stuff. I'm not into that, but it's got its place, I guess. Metroid Mike. How did
What?
Metroid Mike get down here?
Wait, that's a Metroid Mike question?
That sounded like a Metroid Mike question. I
Holy
swear to
shit.
God, I was reading it and it sounded like Metroid Mike.
Has he been down here this entire time?
Is he trapped in the dungeon?
He has always seemed very sphinxious to me. So it would make sense he'd be
Sphinx-
writing riddles.
Sphinxy.
Sphinxy.
Sphinxy Mike. Metroid Sphinxy. Sphinxy Met.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Metroid Mike. What does it mean? What
All
does
right.
it mean?
I mean,
All
we
right,
have
so-
nothing. We have nothing better to do. Should we just answer this?
You kidding? We answer this riddle and we're out of here. It's the Sphinx's question. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Who in Nintendo raps the best?
I'm gonna go last because I'm gonna be the one to crack it. So you
Okay.
guys go ahead.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
All right. I'm just gonna eat some juicy fruit while you think.
All right.
That's already out of flavor. This fucking sucks. Okay. So, who raps the best in Nintendo? I mean, Link? Nah.
Oh, I mean, he maybe beatboxes.
Link could beatbox. Link could fucking beatbox, couldn't he?
Yeah, Link seems like a hype man on the back of the track.
Yeah.
He's the hype man. He does the yeah.
Link
Because he
slides
just
in with
does
the
sound bite. Yeah.
Link slides in with the skirt.
Yeah.
As Kirby's like, I like to eat the guys, yeah. I like to eat them up, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
the
to
cake.
I like
I
to
like the
cake.
kick.
Get out the limelight.
Hoo-ya!
I'm that Kirby, right? I stomp your ass with my cutter, right? Skirt.
I'm feeling it, dude. Ever since that Kirby Snoop Dogg collaboration that I saw on YouTube, which I'm sure is totally valid and actually happened, I've been waiting for that rap album to drop.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
I actually
The Kirby
do.
and Snoop. Yeah.
Yes. Drop it like it's hot. And Kirby's theme. Well, it's the stage theme from Smash, from Melee.
Yeah, drop it. Drop it like it's hot, featuring Kirby. Before Snoop Dogg kicked him out of the song and then released his own album without Kirby on it, which I thought was messed up. But that's a good video. Whoever's listening, call the police and look up that video.
Yeah, and tell them where we are, please. And tell
Tell 'em
my
we're
wife
tracking
I
game.
love her.
Oh, wait, if we make it out alive, well, I don't know what'll happen.
I'm fully expecting this to be an
Look up the video.
investigation discovery episode. Like, they're going to...
Hey, I'm on Discovery, everybody. Hi, Mom.
Nice. Hey, Mom. All right, so who in Nintendo's the best fucking rapper? All right, so we have Link as the hype man. So we know, according to Metroid Mike, that Kirby mumble raps.
You know, something else I just thought about with Link is he's in the Crypt of the Necrodancer port to the Switch.
Right.
So, I mean, he's in a music-based game already, which...
And he does play a mean ocarina.
Yep, adds to his cred. I think, along the same vein, Yoshi.
Okay.
Yeah, Yoshi is able to do a lot of different things, right? We talked about how Link could beatbox. Yoshi can beatbox if he takes the yellow. You know, he's doing the bass with the yellow, the fireball. He's
He
got
can
the
spit hot fire, dude.
Yep, he spits hot
Oh,
fire all the
yeah.
time. And then he goes, Yoshi! You know, he does that voice he does. And
Sure,
then
yeah.
that's sort of like a DJ Khaled.
He's the DJ Khaled of rap.
Of Nintendo rap.
Wait, no,
Nintendo
DJ
rap.
Khaled is the DJ Khaled of rap. He's the DJ Khaled of Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So I think that's where I would go is Yoshi.
Interesting. But not as interesting is the correct answer. The best rapper of all time in video games is Parappa the Rapper. I mean, it's in the name. His name is The Rapper.
He's
He
not
spits hot
Nintendo.
fire.
Yeah, he's not Nintendo though.
Yeah, he is. He's a video game character in Nintendo. He's on that Nintendo.
That Nintendo.
Kids
According to Mom, he's on the Nintendo.
Kids always be playing that Parappa the Rapper on that goddamn Nintendo. You know?
Well, sir, Kick Punch, it is all in the mind. And I do believe we've talked about Parappa the Rapper. Oh my God, we have. He was a trivia question.
It was. And I called him Paprika.
You called
because
it
I could not
Paprika?
get it right.
Paprika.
I have since corrected it, and I know the pronunciation. Parappa the Rapper. It's great because it rhymes, which is really on theme with hip hop, because in hip hop things rhyme a lot. So I think it's really smart that they did that.
It is really awesome to see growth in real time. There you have it, folks. It's recorded for all history. So,
So
I mean, it's Mario, right? He's the only one who speaks. No, you have all of Star Fox. Star Fox would be a group like the Beastie Boys, right?
Star Fox.
Wait,
According to Metroid Mike, Falco sounds like he was on Columbia Records doing Wu-Tang shit. So, is Star Fox just like Nintendo's Wu-Tang Clan?
Oh.
I feel like it. Have you ever seen Star Fox? Star Fox?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Star Fox has that rap music video energy. He's always
Oh,
angry
yeah.
and he's always looking right into the camera.
Yeah.
That's true.
So maybe it's just Star Fox, right?
It's just Star Fox. I Fox was Star Fox.
I Fox was Star Fox.
I Fox with that guy.
Okay.
There you go.
There you have it. Crazy
Wall?
scrawling on the wall.
Metroid Mike.
Star Fox? Nothing.
It didn't do
Why
anything.
isn't it opening?
Why isn't a giant cat coming out and pronouncing us gods or something?
Right. Like it
Is what
should
we
at least
always do.
open, allow us to proceed. Like we answered the Sphinx's riddle.
You know what's missing?
What?
Audience head-to-head. We always do that.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, maybe that'll do
failed
it.
us.
Maybe it's just like a narrative flow kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
we have to get past certain checkpoints.
We have to
Okay.
get to the plot point.
Okay, well, let's just
JB,
kind of
take us
speed it
there.
up then.
All right. Well, this audience head-to-head is brought to you by me. Because we're
Nice.
stuck in a cave and, I didn't have a
Just
chance to
stuck in a
talk to
fucking
marketing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, last episode we asked, is mobile gaming really gaming? Now, this was our
contentious.
closest, most divisive, most voted on audience head-to-head to date. In fact, Twitter saw a perfect 50-50, with Instagram being the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And that's even after disabling mobile votes.
That's right.
we didn't do that.
No, that's not
We
right.
would never rig a head-to-head.
Of course not. But you all spoke, or typed, and officially, mobile gaming is gaming. Congratulations.
Yay. Give it up. Give it up for
Congratulations.
mobile gaming.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
I
I would
agree.
agree. It
That-
is. It just is. Do you know how much Pokemon Go I was playing before we got stuck in here? Ooh, I wonder what I can catch in here.
I mean, what is a phone nowadays except a really, really good Game Boy?
Well,
Like, come
Fair.
on.
And let's be honest, when we talk mobile gaming, that doesn't just mean Candy Crush anymore.
Not anymore, it doesn't.
You can play Final Fantasy Tactics, you can play Slay the Spire, you can play Pokemon games probably, you can play tons of stuff on the phone.
Mhm.
You can play Fortnite on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mobile gaming is
Most-
gaming. By
Most
definition.
phones and tablets are more powerful than the PCs we grew up with.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you can't even really say that it's not. I mean, yes, there's a lot more shitty games, I
Mhm.
guess, on mobile. A lot more cash grabs, but I mean, we have EA.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You shouldn't attack those people. You should feel bad for them. People who are getting taken advantage of by bad mobile games. You shouldn't be like, oh, you're not a real gamer. You should pity them and want to help them and get them into good games that don't destroy the environment. But I also want to say gatekeeping is terrible in gaming. I'm
is.
glad this won how it did. I'm glad people are now saying everything gaming is gaming.
mhm.
So kudos to you, Franks. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just goes to show the type of people, the Franks
Our
out there
Franks.
that are listening to us. They're just awesome. They're very wholesome, nice, great,
Beautiful,
people,
Mhm.
attractive,
wonderful, like super
delicious.
with the biggest
Irresistible.
cocks and the most ginormous titties.
Okay.
No. Oh, no, Dirty
No,
Bird.
I mean-
Stop.
I mean, whatever you got
Woof.
is good.
I like what you're saying. I just don't like how you're saying it. That's
You
all.
know, the chiseled and or unchiseled features
Mm-hmm.
that is attractive for you.
We need to get out of here.
Do you know what I-
you can't dig your way out of a hole with a shovel, JB. So, anyways, you guys are beautiful and we love you. All gaming is gaming because let's face it, there's no honor or prestige to gaming. We're all just blowing free time for fun. There's nothing to safeguard here. Everyone game for fun. That's my answer.
That's right. Yep. If you enjoy it, that's time well spent.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And this episode, well, we don't really have a question for you this time because, in case you didn't realize, we're stuck in a cave.
We might die.
Ooh,
And this is also the season finale.
that's
so
an audience head-to-head. Will we die?
Will we die?
Should we die? No.
No.
Yes. I kind of like it.
I don't
Should
like that question.
we die?
Because if they say yes, what happens?
Okay, listeners,
we
it's
feel
up to
bad.
you. Take it to Twitter. Are we going to die this episode?
No.
Yep. And
Are you going
can,
to choose for us to die this episode?
No, thank you.
Oh,
I
You're
don't
choosing,
want that.
choose your own adventure
No.
story.
And of course, you
We're in
can
your hands.
not find our poll on social media and don't reach out directly to help us answer this non-existent question.
Because we'll probably be dead and won't even post it.
That's right.
Huzzah! All right, Sphinx, open the door.
No.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think that would work, actually. Well, while we try to figure out how to get past this bullshit, let's go and take a word from our sponsors. JB, we can put a sponsor here, right?
I mean, if we survive, yeah, I could put one in.
Oh, Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and get a word from our sponsor, and when we return, get ready for a showdown.
Head to Head, a video game podcast, is brought to you by you, dear listener. Seriously, we've made it all the way to the season finale. Isn't that crazy? And we couldn't have done this without the motivation we get from all of you out there tuning in each and every episode to take this wild journey with us. And look how far we've come together. We've gone from not having a single idea what we're doing when asked to create this podcast, to being stuck in a literal dungeon right now, which I'm still trying to piece together. Seriously, send help. Also, out of nowhere, we have a supportive audience that has sent in listener questions, created art, you'll be seeing that soon, and listens. You actually listen, and that's wild. Seriously, thank you for all the support we've received. Also, yes, it's absolutely true. The show is getting a glow up and a name change and different formats and all sorts of stuff. Don't worry though, it's still going to be the same crazy podcast, just more. I hope you're as excited as we are about Season 2, which will be coming after a holiday break. Also, yeah, we're still going to release stuff over the break, so no worries there. From all of us at GameCorp, thank you. Now, let's see if we actually survive to the end of the episode, so all this comes true.
These two games will have you running, jumping, powering up, and overdosing on a combination of nostalgia and frustration. Castlevania and Metroid are two powerhouse series spawning their own genre, Metroidvania. But which will reign supreme as the great old one of Metroidvanias in this episode's head-to-head showdown?
Our first contender tonight's matchup is Super Metroid. Developed by Nintendo and released on the Super Nintendo in 1994 alongside Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, and Sonic 3. This third entry was re-released on so many Nintendo consoles it'll make you morph ball your eyes out. Being brought to the Wii, the Wii U, the 3DS, and the Switch. This is a wall-exploding, maze-explored, ball-curling, missile-hurling, action-adventure classic that is dripping with 80s horror atmosphere and works to impose a feeling that all basement-dwelling gamers can truly identify with. The feeling of isolation. In this game, you'll play as Samus Aran, the blonde hottie turned robot when clad in her iconic metallic yellow Varia suit. This game opens with finding a pile of dead bodies, followed shortly by the last Metroid being stolen by your eternal adversary, Ridley. And then, things only get worse from there. You'll be dropped onto the planet of Zebes without so much as a word or a hint to guide you, left to find your own way in the vast, confusing subterranean network filled with perilous traps and enemies. Guess we're not the only ones. Built by your enemy Ridley and his team of space pirates, who were courteous enough to stock the whole place with everything you'll need, including ability-based doors, stock-increasing power-ups, humanoid-sized elevators, missiles, bombs, grappling hooks, and so much more. Yet, ominous music and spooky vibes await these tunnels as you fight your way through creepy odd aliens and massive reptilian bosses. And if you want to get the feeling for the core gameplay, just rewind this recording 20 seconds, because yep, the backtracking is back and tedious as ever. And if you want to get the feeling for the core gameplay, just psych, haha, got you. Backtracking joke.
All right, my space pirates, let's go ahead and talk about Super Metroid, the third entry in the titular series. Those not familiar with Super Metroid, it's categorized as an action exploration game that is... It's open-ended. You're dropped in basically this open game world. Nowhere to go. You figure it out. You figure out the puzzles. You progress. You get power-ups. Eventually, you fight boss after boss, get more powerful, and make it to the end. And let's go ahead and start off with what Super Metroid does well. Usually here I'd flip a coin, but I don't have one. So let's flip a rock. You guys call jagged or pointy?
Jagged.
Okay. Hey, jagged. All right, Cowboy, take it away.
All right, what Metroid did good? Well, I want to start by saying I have not played either game in either series. So this was a really cool battle for me because I got to experience a well-hailed series that everybody loves for the first time. And I myself, if anybody doesn't know, I am not a nostalgist. I have no rose-tinted glasses for any games. I don't hold them in high regards. And so I played Metroid, one of the oldest and most revered games. And I fucking love this game. I love this
Yes!
game
Oh my God,
so
seriously?
much. It's so
Hey!
good.
That makes me so happy.
I just was playing it, and I realized because with old games, I get bored. Why? Because I'm a 21st century dude who has played nothing but adrenaline-filled games. This game slowed me down, it put me in a spooky atmosphere, and I fucking devoured it, and I loved it. This game has atmosphere from Aliens and Dead Space put together, and even though it isn't inherently scary, it puts me in a weird mood, and I'm just like, ugh, I'm full of dread. You know what I mean?
Wink.
You can't see it, but I winked and I finger gunned. Silent finger guns. Which now I'm excited for Metroid Dread because I was like, this is really neat. I loved getting the power-ups. I love discovering stuff. I could go on and on. I don't want to take too much, but I think this is a super well-designed game, and now I get why people like it. It's got a lot to it, way more than any platformer at the time had. Paid way more attention to pacing, story, and thematic elements more than any other game that I've seen in that era. So that's my love.
I completely agree.
Hey!
So similar to Cowboy, I had never played a Metroid or a Castlevania. And this isn't 100% true because when I first got I think it was the 3DS, when that first came out, it came with a demo of the Metroid game on the 3DS. So I played the demo for like 10 minutes maybe. Completely different game in that 10-minute demo. But
yeah.
So this was like my first foray. I've heard a lot of good things about both Metroid and Castlevania, so I had kind of high expectations going into it. But I knew, like, from Metroidvanias, like, I knew what the genre was. There's a lot of backtracking. There's a lot of non-linear sort of game mechanics, and I despise those. So I was hesitant but hopeful. And I did enjoy this game for a while. It was really good.
Put that butt on it.
I know. I do have some negatives to say about it, but right now we're talking about what it does well, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It's the depth. The depth that this game is able to eke out on a Super Nintendo. Like, the world felt cohesive. It felt like you were in one giant planet going into different sectors of it, like down near the core where there's lots of magma, or you'd be over by your broken ship, or you'd be over, in this cave structure. Enemies start showing up. There's bosses. And I think they did a very good job. Not a lot of Super Nintendo games did it this well of hiding the game mechanics themselves.
Yes.
So that it didn't feel gamey. It felt like an experience rather than a game. And I really appreciate that because it, once you kind of lift the veil and you see behind what it is and you kind of look into the, oh, this is just blah, blah, blah. It kind of ruins the experience for me. So I really appreciated what they did. And I mean, just the depth, everything. There were so many power-ups, so many types of enemies, so many bosses, and it felt good.
And I want to jump on what you said with experience. And like in my brain, this is never anything you'd find at like an arcade. Never a walk up and jump these platforms and have a good time, kids. This is a like sit down and experience this game. And a lot of games back then, like the Aladdin games, a lot of those platformers from the Super Nintendo era, are stuff you could find in an arcade. They're just kind of like, it's a game. Just jump in, go through the side scroll, and beat it. This was not. And I love that.
This is one of the first examples of the immersive experience, right? So, especially being released in 1994, I believe. Yeah, 1994. You're absolutely right. Back then it was side scrollers, action platformers, things like that. You could kind of get yourself immersed in early JRPGs at the time, but you're really just staring at isometric men doing turn-based combat, things like that. Walking around maps. You have to use your imagination a lot to really like dive into there, but Super Metroid did something special. This was the first time a lot of people really got to experience a world. And not just a top-down world. They experienced a world the same way a lot of like 3D, open world RPGs do nowadays.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was like the precursor to open world games.
Yes, you get the feeling from that with Super Metroid. And a few fun facts about Super Metroid. When it was released, it was the largest game at the time, released on the Super Nintendo because it is so big and expansive.
Like memory-wise?
Yes. It was a whopping 3 megabytes.
Shit.
Yeah.
That was big back then.
Isn't
though.
that wild? Yeah, that was big for back then. Yeah. So this game was, the biggest game, like literally released on the Super Nintendo when it did release. And it was a huge passion project for the devs also. So it's kind of a fun thing here. One game tonight was a hell yeah party game. This game's awesome. Let's fucking release it and woo time. And the other game was an uphill battle with a dev or with a publisher constantly saying too much. We're going to cancel you. We're going to cancel you. We're going to cancel you. But the dev team behind it was so passionate and they believed in their game so much that they kept pushing to get it out. And that's Super Metroid. We almost lost Super Metroid 3 times in its development.
Wow.
Nintendo didn't believe in Metroid at the time, which is wild, right? And now it's one of, it makes the top 100 list every single time. And it's usually in the top 10, right? Every single time, especially being as old as it is.
Yeah, I mean, it was trying something new and trying something different, and it had very lofty goals. I mean, when you compare it to like similar-ish games that came before, like Ghouls and Goblins or whatever, and the Duck one, like
Ghouls and Goblins and the Duck one.
You know what I mean? Those shitty games. DuckTales, thank you.
Ghosts and Goblins and DuckTales, Jesus.
Yeah, this isn't a whole different, like, this isn't the stratosphere compared to those games. So
yeah.
I can imagine, like, the amount of time, the amount of money invested, they probably, and gaming back then was very, very niche compared to what it is now.
Yes.
I'm sure Nintendo was looking at it like, there's no way we make our money back on this.
Right. It was dangerous to make a game like that. People could have hated it very easily. If something went wrong with it, people could have become so frustrated and it could have tanked.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's when, people are at their best, is when they're up against the wall and they're being told no. Mm-hmm. I think that's when people go, fuck you, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it so good, nobody can say shit. That's what they do. It's the Wright brothers. It's the, human ingenuity at its finest. And I think that this game is a testament to that fact.
I agree. Okay, so can we talk about some specific good things?
Yeah.
I want to talk, maybe this is jumping away for a minute, but the music. The music in this is so good.
It is broody and eerie and mystical at times. It really does. It does bring you into it. They did an excellent job creating atmosphere with music in this game. That's
where my thought is. It's, for me, the music was more of an atmosphere than anything else.
Yes.
It was good. I mean, it wasn't jarring, but it also didn't stick out to me. It was very much like in the same vein as like a movie score to me, where a really good movie score just accents things beautifully and enhances the experience. And I think that's where this went.
Well, and I want to say, I feel like they figured out some stuff early, because games of the future create mood through music. But back in the day, Super Nintendo games would just be like, just play the fucking level. Fuck you.
You're right.
They didn't care. Like, just put beeps boops.
Yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah,
they didn't give a shit.
It was a whole lot of create happy atmosphere, create spooky atmosphere. There you go. Have fun, kids. You're right.
But this one,
yep.
Yeah, but this one like wanted to create a mood, and half the time I didn't notice the music. But I'll admit, and Jake, maybe even you'll be with me on this. There was a band called the Mini Bosses that just cemented this music in my mind. And I'm going to take a moment to give a quick shout out. If you guys love video game music, Frank, go look up the Mini Bosses and look up their track for Castlevania and put it on. It's like 13 minutes long and you will love it. It is the essence of what this music probably sounded like to us back then. But it's so eerie and atmospherical and it makes you feel things and it's got highs and lows. It is just not, DuckTales, a woo-woo. Like,
which is a banger.
Which is also very
emotional. You can't knock DuckTales opening theme.
The highs and the lows of DuckTales are pretty close, but not enough. Yeah.
And speaking of like audio, I want to talk about something. It was the very first thing that stuck out to me with Metroid. The voice acting.
Yes.
On the very first intro screen. I had never seen something like that. We played quite a few retro games and nothing like that. That was legitimate voice acting.
Yep, scripted lines in a Super Nintendo game, and not just text. You actually heard them. There were scripted lines, and this has scripted lines and cutscenes.
I think I skipped the intro.
You
On
skipped the
accident.
intro?
I
You skipped the intro?
I might have.
It has voiced lines,
Yeah.
and there are
I didn't mean to.
cutscenes. Like this game even like takes place. It has like a little mini level at a base. It's series when you're going to you receive a distress call because Super Metroid takes place immediately after the events of Metroid 2. When you discover an infant Metroid that takes a liking to you, you take it to a base in series, you leave it, you immediately get a distress call, and you play this mini level where you go check up on your little baby Metroid, and surprise, surprise, Ridley's killed everyone, fucked everything up, and stolen that little baby Metroid. But they set up the stage, man. Like, there's this really cool, it sets the scene for the whole fucking game. And then you see these cool, like, cutscenes and stuff as you're zooming away as, like, the space station explodes and things like that.
Yeah.
Which you don't see a whole lot in Super Nintendo era games. You start to. You'll see like still screens with like some text and things like that. But I feel like Super Metroid did it better, did it a little different.
And there was the thing, that scene, that opening scene where you shoot Ridley, but it doesn't really matter. There's zero fighting, but that set the whole tone for me. That was the moment when I went through that scene, that I was like, oh, this game isn't bullshit. This game is something. Like, this is different. This isn't left to right. This is like, it told a story within the game environment.
Yeah.
Like a cohesive one. That was when I knew. That's when I was like excited during that scene. Very intro.
Yeah. Oh, okay. On the note of like bosses with like Ridley and stuff like that, I think Super Metroid has really good bosses.
It does.
For this time. They are interesting. They are fun to fight. They're also thematic. Like, things happen when you fight the bosses, and you can fight them in different ways and stuff like that. Like, here's two great examples that I love. Like, whenever you fight a boss called Crocomire, it was that red one with 8 eyes that you have to push into the lava.
Yes, him.
Oh, reverse T-Rex, yeah.
Yeah. So
He's got long arms and little legs.
You got to moonwalk him to his death.
And you fight Crocomire and things like that. You fight Crocomire and you push him off into the lava. And there's this death scene while he's screaming and burning up. And you're like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah. When he's melting and you can see the bones underneath.
Yes. And then jump scare. He busts through the fucking wall as a skeleton. And you're like, oh shit.
Not even that. If you start running back, you can see bubbles in the water that tell you he's swimming under you.
Oh, that's
Yes, they included like little steamy bubbles, and I was like, "Hey, that's him!" And I followed him. I'm like, "Where's he going?" And I like stopped walking, and it kept moving. I'm like, "No, that's him!" And then I got to the spikes, and that's when the bubbles like hit the spikes. He came up and popped out, and it's like, "Oh my god, these guys like are dedicated to making an experience, a story." It was great. Yeah, you're
cool.
right.
Yeah, that's awesome attention to detail.
I'll also say I think Metroid has really cool hidden mechanics.
Yes.
The game doesn't tell you can wall jump, but you can fucking wall jump. And you can do it well if you get good at it.
Yep. I found that out a little too late, but
yes. There's also a super jump when you eventually get the super sprint. If you super sprint and then crouch, you get a super jump that shoots you all the way to the top of the level. Like, there's things like that you can just do in this game, and you just find out about it.
There's the ball bomb jumping.
Yes.
That was fun.
Well, can I talk about like the mechanics real quick? Because
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, we discussed the art. That's great. But the mechanics, one of the coolest things this game did is it makes you learn by example, which I don't know any other game. You had all these abilities the whole time, and you didn't know it. And one of the first ones you learn is the super jump. It's taught to you by a bird in the actual level.
Yeah, it is.
And so I was trying to chase this bird down, like, come here, little ostrich, I'm going to get you. And I noticed he had the same, like, running effects that I had, and then I saw him do it. And I go, wait, are you trying to tell me something? And so I run with him, like we're running together, and then I see him crouch, and so I crouch with him, and I'm like, I could do that the entire time, and the game didn't take it away from me. They didn't gatekeep. They let me experience things. The wall jump, like you said. There was another one. If you charge up your shot and then go into a ball, you drop multiple bombs.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's so much hidden stuff that the developers were like, just let them figure it out like reality. I mean, you figure stuff out in real life, figure it out in the game. They're so smart. I love them. I love the design. The mechanics are amazing in this game. You can enable certain beams and disable certain beams and items to create combinations.
Yep, combos.
Like, they didn't have to do that. It's fucking awesome.
There was like one part where I was getting pretty frustrated, and it was like, oh man, what was this part? It was pretty early on, but there's a section where there's a higher section and a lower section, and the top one, it's kind of timed. So if you're not moving quick enough, you'll fall down to the bottom. And once you're at the bottom, you can only go a certain place. Like, you can't go as far as you want to. And I got really frustrated, and I actually went online and I looked up, like, how do I go fast in Metroid? And I learned about the arm pumping technique. Did you learn about that? It's actually used
raising
a lot
and lowering
in
your gun
speedrunning.
and stuff.
Yeah, it's used a lot in speedrunning. It's the way you can boost before you get the boost.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as fast as like a true boost, but you pump your arm up and down and it makes you run a little bit faster, and you can get past a lot of those sections. Now, I guess I was supposed to wait until I got it, but it let me through and it didn't really impact the gameplay at all. Like, so I think it's cool that they give you almost like a Deus Ex Machina not Deus Ex Machina, just Deus Ex, kind of, how do you want to approach this based on the upgrades that you've gotten at this point? And there's multiple ways to do the same thing.
Oh, and I fell in love with the bomb jumping, where you throw into a ball and pinball yourself up. Love that. Use that to hit a bunch of early areas that I wasn't supposed to. And I'm sure they knew about it. They could have patched it, maybe. They didn't. They love it.
No, they spent a lot of time perfecting the labyrinth that is Super Metroid. And I do believe that they just kind of they accounted for everything.
Oh yeah.
They made a game that won't break if you get to places early.
And the movement, the controls, they just felt so good, so polished. It was like, I never once felt like I was, getting hit or losing because of the controls. Whereas when we played N64 games, that was rough.
And one last thing I want to say about Super Metroid is I really like the pacing of powering up. I'm a big fan, you heard it in Mega Man. I'm a big fan of games where you start off weak and you get stronger and stronger and stronger throughout the game. And Metroid does this really well too. And the amount of power-ups is fucking insane.
Holy shit, yeah.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
You end up with like 120 missiles by the end. Missile slots, basic.
Yeah, all that energy, all of the upgrades, all of the different types of weapons. And most of them you don't even need to complete the game, but it rewards that exploration. It's crazy. By just handing these out like candy.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Like you don't have to like fully power up your beam, for instance, but you can if you look out for it. But I love the fact by the end of the game, I could basically fly, right? You had the screw attack and the space jump, and you just flew around the stage. Like, platforming was no longer an issue for you. You were loaded like a small army. You're screw attacking around the stage and flying around and stuff. You have super bombs and super missiles and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you roll in like a small army by the end of the game. Oh, okay. One last thing, too. One last thing. I'm sorry. One last thing.
It's good.
I loved the ending. I loved it. Was very cinematic, and I'm not going to spoil it, but there's actually a little bit of it's good. There's actually a little bit of character development there.
Yeah, some feel good moments.
There's some feel good moments. The boss battle,
kind of.
Yeah, I guess
Feel good then feel bad.
True, and like it ends at this. The climax is crazy at the end of this game, and then again you run away. Everything explodes in Super Metroid, so you run away. Everything explodes again, but.
Speaking of everything exploding, it does turn out that this one also, you can save the animals. They did that in previous Metroids and they kept it going for Super. So if you're a save the animal type person, there's when you're leaving. So at the very, very end, at the climax, when you're leaving and everything's exploding, if you take a little pathway on your way out, you can actually save uncage, I guess, a bunch of animals, and when you fly out on your ship and the entire world explodes, you see the animals kind of fly off in the distance. So
that's cool.
That's like it's the save the animals ending.
But that means you do get the option to murder them.
By
not
saving
save
sure.
them, yeah.
Well, you can go and like stare at them and then walk away without helping them.
You definitely could do that.
See, that's awesome. I love that they give you options.
And then I guess my last point here is I really, really liked the fact that they had a mini map
Yes,
and
that
a
map
regular
was
map,
God.
and you could unlock all of the map. So like you go
Yes.
to like this little thing, put your arm in, you unlock the map.
That
you
map
can
was
see
my
where you can go.
Jesus.
That is just genius. I love maps.
Games like this need a map.
Yes,
They
absolutely.
need a map.
All right. So much good. Piled on, caked on. It's like icing. Let's talk about the bad. Jake, tear it to shreds.
Ooh, I get to start off. Okay.
Yeah.
So, this game can be frustrating as fuck sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my language. But this game can be absolutely frustrating. And I've played it more than once. And I still have to look things up to progress through things. And when I call it a labyrinth, I don't take that lightly. This game is a labyrinth, even with your map. And more so, not only is it sometimes very confusing to traverse areas, some paths are hidden and just completely covered up. You have to guess. You have to go into room after room and bomb and missile fucking everything to find paths through rooms.
Right, because some will open by bombs, some will open by missiles.
Yes, and
Like,
some
it's
are
not
completely
even-
hidden. Some are just completely hidden. You just have to jump at the wall and hope. So this is very much a game of, okay, I'm in this room. Let's shoot everything. Let's jump around. Let's try to find the hidden entrance in everything. Now, this can be remediated by a special power-up, which is the scanner, and it reveals all things hidden. But you don't get that for a long time.
Yeah.
That's not an early game item. That's after you beat your head against the wall over and over and over to get to that point. So Super Metroid can be a very frustrating experience, especially if you're not willing to look up what to do next.
Right.
Metroid might be the progenitor of the how the fuck was I supposed to know that
Exactly.
type of design. Like, you know, that's what I hear a lot of
100%.
people complain about.
That's 100% fair for Super Metroid.
Yeah, they tried. I mean, to be fair, they tried to teach you certain things. Like there was areas where you had to go and you had to bomb as a ball to get through certain spots, and when you bombed, it popped you up into a hidden compartment, and you're like, oh, okay. So now I know there's all these hidden compartments everywhere, and it's like, do I want to spend the time looking for them? No, I don't.
Nope.
I don't want to do it. Yeah, I completely agree. There's just too many secrets.
And I can tell you that a few times, and I felt dirty and guilty for using the walkthrough, but I was like, I gotta get through this game. I gotta do it, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I looked up the walkthroughs, and I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, dude, I don't know where the fuck you are. I don't know what you're doing. Not even watching a YouTube video on this. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Dude, open your map so I can see where you are. Like, I was lost with help, with guides, with a map online open in a PDF. And I was still like, what the fuck am I doing? Where am I going? How do I do that technique? It was a technique where you do the run, hit down to charge, and instead of jumping up, you can jump left. You can
dash too, yeah.
I could not figure out how to do that. I don't know the mechanism that triggered that. I could never get it to happen.
Yeah, I wasn't able to either. And when I looked up a bunch of speed runs, like they use that pretty heavily to like traverse long stretches. So they could go from like one end of a section to another just by doing that. And it was just unbelievable. And I was like, I don't even know where to start with that.
Yeah. So my beef here could be that it's a bit, they fucking leave you out to the sharks. They're like, they really just kind of throw you in it. And for some people, that detracts. They won't like it. Some of you will hate it because of that and won't give it a chance. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. They really did take it to heart that you are in an alien environment and fucking good luck, buddy. They really go there.
And I'll tack on, because I mentioned earlier the movement. I did have a small hiccup with what JB was saying. The movement wasn't perfect. Your spin jumps, I had a beef that your main just up jump had no inertia. You could jump up and move yourself left and right. And if you let go of the stick, your guy comes to a stop. But the rolling jump, they will continue in the direction regardless of whether or not you hold left or not. And
Right,
it's kind
the
of
momentum.
a crapshoot whether or not you jump up or jump with a spin sometimes based on your jump. So half the time I could be thinking that I'm going to continue momentum and I don't, and so I fall into the lava. And I don't know why they did that. I don't know why one type of jump has momentum and the other has like 0G, no momentum. Or not 0G, that makes no sense.
It's the speed, right? It's how fast you're going determines the kind of jump, though, right?
Not necessarily, no.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's not insanely consistent. It's a little bit, but not.
I think it's the difference between like a jump and then a diagonal jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I got it to do like the spin jump just standing still.
Yeah, see, that was hard. I felt like you needed 5 frames of run up to make it happen. And if you didn't have 5 frames, it wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I mean,
it was
maybe
hit or
that's true.
miss.
I didn't actually test it, but I feel like when I was doing with some of those platformers where you have to go all the way from the bottom to the top,
Yeah.
and those aliens are on the side, I feel like I was doing, half spin jumps, half regular jumps. It didn't really affect me though.
And it fucks up the charge shot. When you're doing your spin jump, it can mess up the timing of releasing your charge shot.
Yeah, because if you go into a spin while you're charging, you'll instead get some sort of like glowy shield. You can jump into an enemy and hurt them with it, but you don't get your actual like charge shot anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of enemies, I think this is this is my big hitter. The thing that bugged me the most was I felt like I was throwing paper planes at people.
Really?
Like I just felt so weak, especially bosses. Like they were straight up bullet sponges. Like there's bosses in there, I mean, especially near the end, that take minutes. Like straight up minutes of constantly doing these mechanics over and over and over to kill them. And I felt like, no matter what weapons I used, like I would run out of rockets, they would still be alive. I'd shoot them a million times, they'd still be alive. And I'd just be sitting there thinking like, how many times do I need to shoot this thing for it to die? And even some of like I guess they would be considered mini bosses. I called them trick-or-treaters because they're the things that give you the power-ups, but then they turn into enemies you have to fight.
They're called, instead of chozos, they're called chorizos, I think.
Of course.
Right. So the trick-or-treaters, like, they were bullet sponges too. And I was just like constantly, I had to do their mechanics for what felt like so long. And I just hated it.
And
I just hated it.
The super missiles didn't feel like they did any additional damage. Like I could chuck my entire inventory of missiles and then I just end up shooting simple beams at them. So I was like,
Yeah, I'd be doing charge shots, triple shots, the wave ice shot. I did like the ice shots, but
love the ice shot.
That was really good. Once I got that, I felt a little bit better. But everything just took so long to kill, other than just the basic enemy.
Yeah, that is pretty fair. I mean, I know specifically the boss I had the most trouble with was Ridley, because he is a challenging boss, and he took well over 120 missiles to kill.
Yeesh.
Yep.
Like
Ridley is the Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Yes, I collected a lot of missiles. I think by the end of my run, I had between 130 and 150, something like that. And everyone to the face. And he still didn't go down. I had to like charge shot him a couple times to kill him.
Okay, well, I mean, is that all the bad we got?
No. I got some more bad.
Okay.
So we talked about getting lost, and I don't think we really hit on that, because it's not just getting lost, it's getting trapped in some circumstances. I mean, there's so many times where I would be in a room and I would go into it, I would complete it, I'd move forward, can't go anywhere, move back, can't go anywhere.
Yep.
And I'm traveling back and forth between these 2 points, being like, what am I missing? Where am I supposed to go? Only to find that you have to do this perfect, like, jump into ball move to land in this little tiny hole where you can make your way up to this other section, which, why did I even have to do that? I just came in through this door. Why did it lock behind me? Like, this makes no sense. Or like I mentioned with the double level area, there's like 5 different places you can go from there, but they're all hidden. You have to know secret techniques, or you have to get certain power-ups. Otherwise, you're just stuck. And I did not use a walkthrough unless I got super, super stuck. But there's multiple times where I was like, okay, what do I do now? I look at the walkthrough and I'm like, there's no way in a million years I would have ever guessed to do that thing or go through this section. I already went through that section. I completed it. It's yellow on my map. I'm good. But no, you have to go through there. Or green on your map. I don't remember what color it goes.
It fills in blue as you've been there, I think.
Blue. Okay. Yeah. So there, it's just like, what? I don't, it pissed me off.
Yeah. There's multiple occasions where it will do that. And even though I played it before, if I had to sit down and play it again, I still couldn't tell you how I get through the water level, Meridia. I have no idea how I got through Meridia. Anytime, even with a walkthrough. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it by myself.
That's where you fight the shrimp boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing that I didn't like, which I think is a huge selling point for this game specifically, and maybe most Metroids. I don't know if they continue this. You have different pathways you can take. So you can fight the bosses in any order you want. And we saw this in quite a few other retro games. Like Mega Man does it to an extent, but what was the one where maybe it was Mega Man where you have to beat certain bosses in order to get the power up to beat other bosses?
That's Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Yeah. And if you go in order, you're going to have a bad time. Well, I just went, like, there's no order. I didn't know anything about this game going into it. I was just going along, exploring. Hey, look, a boss, and I fight it, and it's really hard, or maybe it's really easy. But when I finally looked up, like, the speed runs of it, there's all sorts of things where they're like, oh, you don't want to go this way. You don't want to fight this boss first because, you know, it's just going to take forever. It's not a fun time. What you want to do is this specific order. You know, like fight the green belly button shooter,
Kraid.
Yeah.
And then you fight I don't remember the order, reverse T-Rex, shrimp monster,
Dragon,
and then Red Eyes Black Dragon,
Ridley.
And then spiky head meatball,
Mother
Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so I think there is actually a natural progression. I think that's speedrun hacks because there's a natural progression to this game because abilities are gated behind bosses, and you shouldn't naturally be able to get to other areas of the game until you get that ability.
Yeah, that's fair, but I also got into like this weird situation because I would get stuck. I'd look up the walkthrough for the area I was in. They're like, oh, you need to do this thing to get to this spot. So I get there. So now I don't know, is that where I'm supposed to be? Is there something easier I missed?
I noticed all the walkthroughs take you in the unintended paths. They take you the easiest way and not the way intended. I did notice that.
Right.
They cheese you into areas like, get this first, it'll make the game easier. I was like, but how am I supposed to do it?
Right.
I saw that too.
And finally, I think the last thing, and it's more of just a feel of this game, and you'll hear me talk about this with Castlevania as well, is that, you know, I really, really forced myself to play these games to completion, beat them, save the world, you know, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I regret it so much because I hit a wall probably halfway to 3/4 of the way through with both of these games. And forcing myself through it made me hate the things I liked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which was it felt bad because by the time I beat these games, I just, you know, I turned it off and I'm like, I will never, like, yeah, honestly, I might never play a Metroid or Castlevania again.
Damn,
Yeah,
dog.
It was rough. It was rage-inducing. Anyway, so that's my experience with Metroid. Great game. I ruined it for myself.
I guess so, dude, because I don't share that opinion, man. I like Metroid games quite a bit. All right, so that was enough bad about Super Metroid. Leave this poor baby alone, JB. Let's go ahead and talk about what matters. Why does Super Metroid deserve the title of Great Old One of Metroidvanias? I'm going to go ahead and go first. Super Metroid deserves this title tonight because of its influence on later Metroid games. Super Metroid is hailed as one of the best games in the Metroid series and some of the best games of all time. Everything that is in Super Metroid inspires the rest of the series. This is the game that really pushed the envelope and developed more characterization with Samus, with Ridley, with Kraid, Space Pirates, etc. The whole cast of characters was really developed in Super Metroid. And this game was a technical masterpiece for its time. It's impressive all around and very influential to its series.
I'm going to say that this game should win the title of Great Old Ones of Metroidvania because it's perfect in that middle spectrum of the series. It's not old enough that the graphics are bad and that you can only shoot in a single direction, and it's not new enough that I hate it and it's modern. It's nostalgic and great on graphics and perfect. It's right in that good middle ground. And I think it has barely any flaws. It's complex enough, but yet it's simple enough. I think it's the perfect example of what Metroid can be. And so I think this is the greatest old one of the Metroidvanias. Metroidvanias. That's my thought.
I think Super Metroid set out to achieve a specific goal, and I think it didn't just achieve it, it went above and beyond what it was trying to do. And I think it is probably the best example of what games, what game making should be. Just because I don't necessarily like the genre, and I forced myself into playing it past when I probably should have, that I want to stay objective here and say this is a great game on all fronts, and everybody should definitely play it. It is great. It is old. It is one.
Technically, it's the third one.
Well, it is one game.
Fair enough.
All right, so that was Super Metroid, one of the most bestest, beautifulest games of all time, but you will bang your head against a fucking wall trying to get through it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of walls, how do we get out of here?
I don't know. Maybe there's a secret lever we didn't pull.
Whoa, dude, look, it's opening. What'd you do?
Nothing. I didn't do anything.
Maybe mentioning the secret lever is the secret lever.
What?
Ha-ha! Surprise, bitches! It's I, Inquisitor Harold!
What the hell? Inquisitor Harold?
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Nobody expects a surprise Inquisitor! And thus, I have caught you wandering about the company catacombs with your paltry level 3 security clearances when everyone knows full well subterranean labyrinth access requires a minimum level 7 clearance. Oh, what a devilishly delicious violation of corporate safety and standards. Oh, so much paperwork, so many consequences, I simply cannot wait. You three shall accompany me to HR Forthright, where you will spend the next several hours being severely and mercilessly written up.
Oh, is it weird that I'm a little let down?
Yeah, not as bad as I thought, actually.
Whoa, wait. What about the mission, guys? Save the Torque, save the world?
Oh.
Right, I'll handle this. Inquisitor, let me ask you something. Could you just let us slide maybe just like one time?
No.
Please?
Absolutely not! Rules are rules, you know.
I'm all out of ideas, guys.
All right, that's it. Damn you, damn the rules, dude. We're going through. Just try and fucking stop us. This is crazy. Very well. Hiya!
Hey, what the hell? Unfreeze him.
Speaking ill of the regulations, I shall not stand for such blasphemy. He has been suspended until arbitration can be reached.
Dude, not cool. You let him go or else.
Or else, you say? Is it possible you are trying to invoke the office code of combat, demanding your right to remediation by alternative trial?
Yes, that's right. I demand, whatever you just said.
Oh, how serendipitously satisfactory. I'd hoped you'd say that. This shall allow me to finally indulge my insistent inner sphinx and challenge you, rabble, to a rousing round of GameCorp Trivia! If you best my inquisitorial provocations, I shall permit your leave. Deal?
What now?
Well, I didn't know at least 10 of those words, but I'm pretty sure you said trivia. Deal.
Oh, splendid. You know the rules. Let me hear your buzzers. I hear this lame brain in the prison here does that all the time. I want to hear the sounds you make when you ring in.
I'm going with...
And I will go with...
How
That's a good one.
delightful. Okay, hands on your buzzers.
I'm ready.
Wah. Sorry, my finger slipped.
In this round of trivia, you shall be answering questions about the show itself. That's right, GameCorp trivia is quite literal. I hope you've been paying attention to the show you've made in the last year.
Oh, this will be easy.
Question. You say that. Question number 1. In episode 2, you called children crotch goblins and then besmirched the company goth that walks around with chalices and looks all moody. What is his name?
Wah. That particular individual is named Vlad.
Oh, how unfortunately correct. 1 point for
Ooh.
Cowboy. 1
Yeah.
point
Well
for
done.
your lives. Oh, your jobs. I don't know. Oh, anyway. Question number 2. In episode 3, we catch a glimpse of our magnificent boss haggling with a client named Jim about rigging game reviews. What was the game Jim was trying to boost the review score of?
I wasn't there for that. What, JB?
Yes, I totally remember.
You
Time's
edited that in?
ticking.
The
Wait.
game.
Wait, it was a fish. It was a fish. What was it?
Oh, it was like a math fish, big mouth fish bass
Wah,
math
wah.
games for kids.
I'm wearing.
I heard a buzzer. This is
Yes.
delightful. Yes, what is it?
Billy the Bass's fun math games.
You know that's incorrect.
No, I
Oh, no.
It's close
One
enough.
question down. One question
No.
towards your doom. The correct
Wait.
answer is learning math with Bobby the Bass.
Oh,
Bobby.
no, so close.
Oh, so close.
No.
Question the next, because I can't keep track. In episode 10, profits needed to increase on the double. In order to reach peak efficiency in the office, Luke, champion of IT, was ordered to throw out your lumpy old office chairs and replace them with what?
JB,
You were there.
you're all about gamer chairs, dude.
group. It was like bicycle chairs where they pedal, and it creates electricity.
That is quite correct. I'm so glad you remembered what chair you sat in that one time. That would be weird if you didn't.
That would be weird.
Oh yeah, I remember.
2-1.
It was such a rough seat to sit on, and the pedals were like weird. Yeah,
Very tiny pedals.
very tiny pedals.
Hey, we're doing pretty good.
This is very exciting. All right, question the next. In episode 7, you exercise your rights via the office code of combat and challenge a team of youths half your literal age to literal fight in the literal office.
I remember that.
One delightful casualty of the aforementioned fight had possession of the YouTuber's drugs. What was his name?
Oh, what's his name?
He had the Zans.
What is his name?
His name was Okay, it rhymed.
Does it?
Wait, no.
Does it not?
I got it. Boop. What's my buzzer? Got it. That was Little Dealy, yo.
Oh,
Oh,
the score's
Lil
3-1. I can't believe you remember things.
yes, that man's got my Zans.
Yeah.
Little Dealy, yo.
Next question. In episode 14, you interview a knight before his hilariously tragic failing at the hands of the boss. What video game did he declare fondness of?
Oh, the tournament night, dude. The hero, Sir Garfield or Gerwin or what was
Graven Gorge.
Graven Gorge.
Good night,
Okay,
Sir Garen of Graven Gorge.
so he liked a game.
What games did we play that episode?
Wah.
Yes, cowboy.
He liked Minecraft.
Oh my gosh, another one correct. I didn't
Yes,
expect you to do
I'm
so
so
well.
good
Oh.
Who likes
Question.
Minecraft?
Dude, I swear to God, this place burns memories and like their trauma. I don't know why. It's just like embeds memories in me.
question next. As we all know, Terry has a penchant for topical and elaborate adornments. Can you name the voluptuous war maiden Terry dressed up as in episode 6?
It was a ship.
It was
JB,
a ship.
help me.
I can't.
you gotta do some of these. Okay, he was where? I only get one guess.
Of course you only get one guess.
he was Norfolk.
How devilishly incorrect. Of course he was not Norfolk. It wasn't even the right game. He was Linda.
No,
From Kiss of
he
War.
was
Linda.
He was
He was
Linda.
Linda from Kiss of War.
Oh no.
He totally was.
He looked amazing in that. How could you forget?
Because
I
I
blocked it out of my
repressed
memory.
it, all right.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Final question. Oh, I'm so excited. Final question, podcasters. In episode 17, you interviewed an amateur mycologist and cryptozoologist
Oh
that this
yeah.
numbskull Jake over here found on Craigslist. Oh, I sound like the boss, numbskulls. What was that sweaty man's name?
Oh fuck.
Dr.
Shit. What was his name?
What
His
was
name
his name?
was. His name was. Do you have anything? Anything at all? Jake?
Mushroom.
He was a mycologist. All right. Where? His name was Craig.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go again, because you know that's not his name.
Oh no, I thought it was. Shit. JB, get in there.
I have no idea.
Look it.
I have
I'm
zero
hypnotizing.
clue.
Look at this. Look at it rock back and forth. You're back in that room. You're sitting across from that weird creepy dude who
Yeah.
kept pulling
Oddly
his shirt up.
sexual.
He got weird and he said his name. Yes, I'm the mycologist. You can call me.
Macaulay Culkin.
Fuck you. God damn it.
Oh, how predictable. Of course that was incorrect. How could you besmirch the name of Professor Hubert von von von?
Oh, no, that was his name.
I would have,
No.
if you trapped me down here for 1,000 years, I would have never gotten that name.
Hubert.
von Braun.
Yes, that was
Herbert
his name.
von Bon Bon. Amateur mycologist and cryptozoologist extraordinaire who helped you out of that predicament.
I'm pretty sure he's not a real person. Like, I think that's just some dude that signed up for the Craigslist
I'm
ad.
pretty sure you paid him $100
We
to
did,
come
we
in and help
did.
out. Anyway, tallying the final scores. Oh, how predictable. Yes, it is often the most uninformed who break the most rules. You got many right, and I am so proud of you, but you did not get them all right.
What?
Oh, no.
Wait, we had to get them all right?
Am I bending the rules like Darth Vader? I think I am. Pity.
That's not fair.
Well, boys, our parley is complete, and as I am verily victorious, you shall be marching back the way you came to submit yourselves to HR for a
Oh.
quite rigorous write-up process. It will be
Come
so
on.
gratifying to see Crude's signature after signature scrawled out on those beautiful, flawless corrective action forms. Just thinking about it makes... Ow! It fucking stinks in there. Oh, holy shit, I'm free. What happened?
Caught him monologuing. Classic.
Wow, nice, man. But, like, what'd you do? He's not moving. He's at the...
Oh, no. So what happened was I came up with the idea to reverse the polarity on that weird device thing he was using, therefore
Uh-huh.
freeing you and freezing him in the process.
Whoa, I mean, cool.
Yeah,
Well, it's-
but then when I looked through my bag for something that could do something like that, all I found was this hammer, and you know me and this thing. Bonk. Got him.
Ah, that's awesome.
Oh, that's aggravated assault.
Yeah, this place kind of does have me out of touch with reality. But hey, it all worked out.
Yep, what's done is done. You guys ready to get out of here and talk about our next contender, Super Castlevania 4?
Definitely would like to leave the scene of the crime. Yeah. Take it away, cowboy.
Okay. Our second contender in tonight's matchup is Super Castlevania 4, developed by Konami for the Super Nintendo and released in 1991 alongside such hits as Lemmings. Okay, fine. Legend of Zelda, Sonic the Hedgehog, Battletoads, and, best of all, Toe Jam and Earl. Papa loves ya. Castlevania 4 can also be found on the Virtual Console for the Wii and Wii U and can be played on the Switch through the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. This is a candle-smacking, bone-cracking, neck-nibbling, whip-jiggling action platformer legend that takes you once again to Transylvania and up against that big fucking nerd that is Dracula, so you can hit that whip and tell him, nay, nay, you shan't be rising again today, day. In this game, you'll play as Simon Belmont of the vampire-ass-kicking Belmont bloodline, who must traverse the wild forests, malicious manors, and treacherous towers to contend with dancing specters, big-ass bats, and Mr. I Don't Care for Garlic himself, Dracula. For most of this game, you'll be smacking every stone wall and candelabrum in sight, which will most notoriously drop small hearts as ammo for your deadly special weapons, because they're powered by love or some shit, I don't know. And each level is stacked with trick floors, hidden spikes, floating platforms, and tons of small staircases. Like an insane amount. Like, we get it, guys, you like stairs and candles. And it's not even mentioning the wall chickens. Yeah, you heard me right. Chicken. In the walls. Cause steak would have been too on point.
Hey-yo!
All right, my teen vampire slaying heartthrobs, let's talk about Castlevania 4 and shake off whatever the fuck that just was as we walk away from that. Those not familiar with the Castlevania series, its first 4-ish games, most of them except for number 2, and we don't talk about that one. It's an action platformer. You progress through level after level, jumping over and bashing enemies. The cool kind of thing about Castlevania is you do it with a whip, and in this one especially, you could swing it in 8 directions, so you can swing your whip around and then just twirl it around like a jump rope on a playground, right? Plus, lots of really cool side weapons that might just be more powerful than your primary. But let's go ahead and start with what's good about Castlevania 4. I lost that rock that we flipped, so JB, why don't you go first?
Yeah, and I'm gonna take like the low-hanging fruit here and say the whip.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of the best weapons of all games ever. Like, this thing is so iconic that I had never played a Castlevania up until this point, and I knew what I was getting into with the whip. And the first thing I did was throw that bad boy out there and shake it up and down and shimmy
Yes,
it and wiggle
so
it around.
fun.
And it's so much fun, and just like spin it in circles, and the things that you could do with the whip, it was such a versatile weapon that, like, you could of course whip it at people and kill them, but you could get power-ups to it, right? So you pick up like candelabras, and then it turns metal, and then you pick up another one, it does slightly more damage. So you would whip people and it would do a ton of damage.
Too. It gets longer too. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, if you spin it in circles, you could destroy projectiles, you could block things, you could, it was just such a versatile weapon. Oh, you could swing like a grappling hook over, gaps and things like that. So it was just such a good weapon, such an iconic weapon. And I think without it, Castlevania would not be what it is today.
Oh, yeah. That thing's, like, better than Simon Belmont himself. Like, the whip is the hero. Simon is, like, the tag-along.
He's the vessel. He's the vessel for the whip.
He's a means to an ends, in my mind.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with the whip, man. And like with the projectiles, so like a lot of the enemies will shoot little fireballs and stuff like that. And if you whip it, you can destroy them. But if you hold the attack button, it drops down, and then you can just kind of like wiggle it in front of you and just kind of flick it, and you just take care of all those fireballs and stuff like that.
Or if you just hold the top right corner, it'll just put it right out in front of you, like you're holding up a shield. It's perfect.
Yeah. Speaking of the weapons, also, Castlevania is really known for iconic side weapons. So, in proper theme to the whole game, you're traversing this castle to fight Dracula. A lot of your weapons are vampire related. You have holy water, you have like axes, knives. You used to have stakes. One of the games you got a stake. Yeah. But it's just like side weapons that you throw. They're projectiles, axes, knives. Help me out here. There's one that can slow down time. There's a rosary that you can collect that kills everything on screen.
Yeah.
And most importantly, the boomerang. The boomerang is so powerful. Did you guys play with the boomerang on your playthrough?
Yeah, that thing does work.
That thing
Is it an
wrecks
actual
shit.
boomerang?
It's called a
I
boomerang.
thought it was like a chakram or something.
It's called a boomerang in the like in the item inventories. Whenever you like look it up, they label it as a boomerang.
I thought it was a cross that he threw and just happens to come
Yeah.
back.
I think it was supposed to be like in the original.
It's a boomerang made out of a cross,
Yeah.
which would make sense because then it destroys the unholy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And because Jesus came back. So
Right.
that was kind of like a boomerang in itself.
Right. So, what's interesting about Castlevania also, like speaking of the cross/boomerang, things like that, it was one of the games in the 90s that was subject to a lot of censoring. It was censored
Really?
quite a bit. Yeah, I looked at a comparison between the Japanese in the proper Japanese style and the American style. They removed all imagery of crosses, anything religious figures. They dressed up statues that were a little bit naked.
Wow.
Yeah. One of the big ones, too, is there's a surprising lack of blood in a game about vampires, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in the Japanese one. In those levels, like in the sewer levels with all the green, goopy water that you jump over and stuff, it's supposed to be blood.
Oh.
That was supposed to be a giant blood
Mhm.
river. And in the Japanese game, it looks so cool.
It kind of makes sense when you look at, like, if you really remember games from the 90s, there was a lot of, like, you had to put in codes to get blood, you know, like the...
Like in
put
Mortal
in the-
Kombat and stuff.
Mortal
Yeah. So I think they were very, very, like... What's the word here? Censored or whatever you want to call
They were censor
it.
happy. That was the censorship crusade of the 90s, man.
Yeah.
With new censoring standards, with protect the kids, video games cause violence, all that shit.
Right. And what I find so shocking about that is that I would expect things like blood and gore and nudity to be censored because it's a very, I don't want to like put anybody out, but it was a very like religious era for video games. Like the religious sect had a lot of power over what was shown in media.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they censored like crosses
Weird,
really
right?
surprises me.
Yeah.
Weird, right? It was only supposed to, like, in Castlevania, crosses would be a symbol of power, right? If he was throwing a cross to kill demons and shit, that's empowering, I would think. But yeah.
I would think so too. Like they should show everything and be like, yeah, destroy those demon worshippers.
You know what's funny is I had an experience like that where I was talking to like a fellow friend, coworker, and I mentioned Doom to the guy,
Mhm.
and he said, "Oh no, that game's too demonic. I would never play it. It's pro demons." And I'm like, "Have you Doom? Is
Certainly
pro
not.
demons? It is
It's very
the most
much anti-demon.
anti-demon thing that has ever existed. I mean, he was a very religious man. And I'm like, you should love this game.
Yeah,
You should
basically play Super Jesus and you kill
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the demons.
If I gave this to Jesus, Jesus would be like, "This is good. This is amazing. I
Jesus
support
would be like,
this."
fuck yeah.
Hell,
Yeah,
he'd,
this is so accurate.
he'd be doing speed runs of it. He'd love it. That's a weird tangent. What else is good with this game?
I'm going to say, okay, so I don't know if you guys are going to put this in the good or bad.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't want to say level design, but I do want to say level themes. I
Okay.
think the themes of the levels in Castlevania 4 are super cool. They really push the Super Nintendo to its limits sometimes because the Super Nintendo, we're used to just, flat 2D side scroller games or top down JRPGs. Like there's really no in between. Star Fox wowed us a little bit, but you don't see a lot of that. But you get to see it in Castlevania 4. You get to they use a lot of really cool parallax for moving backgrounds. There's rooms that move around. There's the one trick room that literally rocks back and forth. You're in like this, I don't know, a big like, how do you even, like a cylinder? You're in a cylinder,
Yeah.
and the background rocks back and forth to give this cool 3D effect while you're trying to get through this level and stuff. And swinging on giant chandeliers, all sorts of stuff. They did a lot of really cool tricks in their levels. That was a lot of really cool eye candy for this time.
Right.
I was
And-
impressed multiple times.
And not even the gimmick like Mode 7 stuff. And not to say gimmick bad, like the technical cool looking things, but also the basic backgrounds, the sprites and the choices
The
to
game looks
decorate
good.
the levels. Yeah, I have to admit the themes are really cool and really well done. I liked them. They put you in the mood. to be a vampire slaying motherfucker.
Yeah. So this game released like 3 years before Super Metroid. And I have a hard time sometimes thinking which game really looks better sometimes. I know Super Metroid is a more immersive world, but when I'm comparing sprite art to sprite art,
Yes.
sometimes I was sitting there going, damn, this game looks good.
And you have to admit, compared to Metroid seems a little lazy because a lot of its backgrounds are very simplistic and boring and just like the same cave tile over and over. Where in this game, they got a lot going on. They got dudes hanging out windows. They got chandeliers moving. They got vines crawling up the gate.
Yeah.
You have to give it for a game that came before the 3 years earlier and outdid it on its chipset and its sprites. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because with games of this generation, there is a serious trade-off. Like nowadays, right, you can make an 80 gig game and people are like, yeah, whatever. And then you can max out all the sliders, right?
Yeah.
Max out the immersive world, max out the storytelling, max out the voice acting. You could do all that stuff and just have a really, really big game and it's fine. But back then you had a very, very limited storage space on the NES, SNES, I guess, for this one. So you couldn't do everything. You had to pick something to specialize in, and then you could bring other things in to kind of supplement that. And I think Metroid went very hard in the, overall world and the overall aesthetic. But where Castlevania shines is the detail, right? The individual little pieces, all of the pieces that make up the shape of the whole, but the whole kind of suffers for that, right? It doesn't feel as much like a cohesive world, but it's okay because, look at those sprites, look at that detail, look at the weapons, look at all that kind of stuff. And you see that in the gameplay too, like where they focus the extensive, where they put the depth in the game is completely different between these two.
Yeah, absolutely. I would, when thinking about these two games, I kind of got the feeling that Castlevania 4 and all the Castlevanias really, it's all about, and I hate to take your tagline, the fun factor, right? They were like, what's fun? What's a visual spectacle? What gets gamers going? Heck yeah, this is fun. This is cool. Because I think the team at Konami, which they did not suffer any threatened cancellations, drawbacks, budget cuts, anything like that. Through the development of Castlevania 4, it was like, I want to kind of say, it kind of sounded like a party. They were just like, fuck yeah, Castlevania, look at this cool thing.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, dragons, woo! Like, they had a lot of fun making this game, and in a way it shows. Like, the level themes are cool, the weapons are cool, the side weapons are cool, it's spooky, ooky dooky. Oh, and not to mention the music. I fucking love the music in Castlevania 4.
Yeah.
Super Metroid went for, like you said, a movie soundtrack. It's moody. It's awesome. Like, it sets that tone. But Castlevania 4 is like a fucking party. I was listening to the soundtrack to Castlevania 4 several times while we were just playing, like while I was driving in my car and stuff. And like, it's got some bangers, dude. Some of these songs are so cool.
Overall,
I want to talk about the soundtrack just a little bit. Sorry for cutting you off, but as somebody who plays the piano fairly regularly, like I have one in my office, I play it, a few times a week. I love classical music. I listen to a lot of classical music on YouTube, and I love Baroque music, and these songs were vibing, man, and like you could feel like the inspirations from like Baroque composers in the music, which was just, it was mind-blowing to me, honestly, because I was like, this could be a song that was played in the Baroque era. Of course they have some different effects and maybe a little bit of a drum backtrack, which you wouldn't have, but it had that feel of like, I am in Transylvania and I'm listening to this like Baroque classical music, and it's mind-blowing. And they did such a good job at replicating the feel with such a limited space for music. You only had so much you could do with the I don't even know what it's called in that era, like the chiptune style composing that you could do. So props to the music team in that game, because they did some stuff that, modern day games sometimes do worse. And they have so much more of a budget and so much more options, and yet Castlevania is coming out ahead of a lot of these games.
Yeah, man, I think that just kind of like it proves a point a little bit. Like, this was all about fun. The music fucking slaps. It's fun to swing your whip around. The levels are visual spectacles. Like, they had fun in mind when they made this game. It is a video game. They knew it. They made a video game. I also want to say too, for as challenging as like the Castlevania series is known for, it's way more forgiving than games, like say, Ghosts and Goblins. It's way more forgiving than that. You have an actual health bar, and you can get health back, and like you can take some hits while you're playing this game. I feel like that's super important in games like this. Like, make it challenging, but make it fair. And I think, as far as combat is concerned, in a lot of times, like just traversing the levels, as far as like fighting monsters and stuff, it was pretty fair as far as balancing your health bar and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think if this game went up against Ghosts and Goblins wouldn't have stood a chance.
No,
like I think hands down 3-0, it would have won everything.
That's true.
Which is kind of funny, thinking about it, but. Yeah, I completely agree. The fun factor of this game was just at an all-time high. They went for pure like feel good kill stuff. I think this is the type of game that people who like Doom now would have really loved back then, because it's very like kind of fast paced. You're destroying demons. You get the power ups. There's a lot of fun to be had there. And that kind of leads me to, I think, my last point of what this did good, and it's the enemy design, and not just in like the trash mobs, but also the bosses. There was, I mean, of course, you have your classic, like you're fighting Dracula, mummies, Frankenstein's monster. You have all the normal stuff, but they have some really interesting enemies that I would either be like, like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Or I would just be sitting there thinking, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, which is I came up with weird names for all of the different bosses. And the one I'm thinking of right now is the French skull ghost.
The skull that flicks its tongue at you and jumps around?
Yeah, he's like French kissing
you.
That
was
like
such a weird boss, yeah.
It was so strange, and I was just loving every second of it.
Yeah.
What a weird, interesting boss. Like, who thought of that? I'm glad they did, but I think a lot of the enemies are kind of like that, where you're just like, who came up with this?
It was really creative there, yeah. You got the skull tongue, you got the dancing people who just bounce around and hit you like that, you got the gargoyles.
You have Mandusa, like the first boss. It's Medusa, but it looks like a dude. Or no, the first one is the Skinless Horseman.
Yeah, the first one is a skeleton rider, but Medusa is like after, I think.
One of my favorites was, this is the one I'm most proud of, Sir Phineas. I don't know if either of you have seen Phineas and Ferb. But there's the knight who looks straight up like Phineas.
Is there?
Yeah.
I'd have to look again.
He's like the knight with, I think he has a spear, but he has the pointy face, like the beaky face.
Oh, that's sounding so familiar. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he's between...
Is it the one that whips the big axe at you also?
Oh, I don't know.
He lands and tries to stab you with his spear, right?
Yeah, that's the one. He's right after the spinners, the dancing people.
Oh, okay.
You have Golbat, which is a Pokemon, but he's also a bat made of treasure.
The golden bat,
Golbat.
Okay, that was I think that was my favorite level.
He was neat.
The treasure room
the level was cool
with the
too.
golden bat and stuff. Yeah.
And then the last one I thought was interesting was there was the weird bird with the pitchfork.
Oh yeah.
I called him Chamberlain. Have you seen Dark Crystal? Oh, the
Skeksis.
Yeah, I know what that is. Oh my god. I didn't want to admit on air that I've never really watched the Dark Crystal, only the jiggly David Bowie parts and the creepy puppets. I'm familiar with those and the bird monsters. I've never seen the movie all the way through.
Skeksis.
Yeah, one of the bird monsters is called Chamberlain. He's the leader. So I just named it after that.
Skeksis are my spirit animal. So yeah, I know them.
And then you have Dracula with the Dragon Ball Z powers.
Oh, yeah.
That was the last interesting one I came up with.
Oh, you know what? I do want to say that. I think the final confrontation with Dracula was thematically interesting. And I love in Castlevania is that when you fight Dracula, it's not always just Dracula. He has multiple forms, and he always eventually turns into a giant, like, big beastly version of himself, right?
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool.
He, this isn't even my final form. He does that.
Dracula in Castlevania, like the version of Dracula that you always find in Castlevania is so much cooler than like any version of Dracula in like classic literature or even today.
I agree.
He's literally an anime villain with multiple forms and stuff.
Yeah, especially in the other games when he has like extended dialogues and stuff. They really milk that. It's cool.
Oh, before I forget, there was one other boss, and it was the stone guy. You remember him?
Yeah, the golem.
Yeah, he looks like Guile from Street Fighter. So I called him Guile from Street Fighter, but made of stone.
That's the whole name in quotations.
He does
Guile from Street Fighter, but made of stone.
It's articulate. Well done.
Yeah, I was going to call him Stoner Guile, but I didn't like it as much.
Better. I would have picked that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, shit, that is a lot of good to say about Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania. We do have to talk about the bad, so we got to drum up some negative things to say. And if you guys don't mind, I'll start. I think I got like one or two. Okay, so I hate this game, and there's a lot that I don't like about it.
That's fair.
I hate this game.
That's fair.
I was keeping my muzzle on during the good section. I was being polite, but it's coming off now.
Same.
Okay, the music, awful. The music is absolutely the worst because the only good music in this game is remade music from the past games. All the stuff up to right before you get to the castle and some of the final levels where you get that classic Castlevania, just so layered, so deep, so good, so many good melodies. The rest of it was just throwaway garbage.
I
in my
can't
mind.
agree with you there, man. I can't. I
I
thought this
wanted
music
to.
fucking slapped.
I wanted to like it. None of it stuck in my head. Not until those classic tones came up did any of it really like reach out to me and say like, here's a good song. And sure, for a random game, it would be good. But we're talking Castlevania. A classic Castlevanias have jams out the wazoo. This is like Prince level music. And then this game comes in with some substandard stuff.
That's an interesting take because, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, but you and I had never played a Castlevania before this, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Neither did
so
I.
coming in as like fresh. Oh,
I've
well, then
heard
what are you
the
talking
music.
about? You
I've
don't
heard
know
the-
anything.
I love the music though from
You
classic
love
Castlevania.
You love the one main theme. Da, da,
No.
da,
No.
You like
da,
mini
da,
bosses.
da, da, da. You like the mini bosses.
The mini
version of it,
bosses
don't
chose
you?
the music that was good. Yes, they introduced me the good classic tunes. This one was so obvious that they didn't live up.
Objection. I object this one. I object this one. The music was cool.
I agree. Harvey Birdman,
I
attorney
think it
at
was
law.
baroque in.
I thought it was fun. Some tracks slapped. I thought that like even when it like toned it down into the caverns with cool 60s and 70s jazz flute, as soon as it hit me with jazz flute, I lost my mind. I was like, this fucking game is weird.
I think I hated
loved
that.
it. Oh my god, I
was like,
love
what
the
the
jazz
heck
flute.
is this? You guys don't even know what you're doing. This weird jazz flute.
Yep. And that kind of leads me to one of the things I hated about this game, which is the levels. I kept my mouth shut while Jake was talking.
No.
About how
Okay.
good the levels were.
Do you notice how I said the themes?
Oh,
I like
okay.
the
Even that.
themes of the levels. I like
we
the
were
level
all
themes.
pretending
Really?
to.
I like the level themes. I
think-
don't
I talked
like
about the things I
levels.
liked. I liked about the levels. Everything I liked about the levels, I said. But the thing was, like, so for me, there was one particular track that I really, really liked as far as songs go. And it was in one specific level, and it was a castle level. Like, how do I explain? There was like a castle, there were some stairs.
The castle
There's
levels.
stairs everywhere.
Well-
Exactly. Like, you cannot differentiate the levels between the two. Like,
Yeah.
Metroid, you could be like, oh, I was in the lava area. Oh, I was in this area over here. Like, there are some ways that you can differentiate. They even have names, right? Like Brimstar or something.
Brimstar, Norfair, Meridia.
Yeah.
Yep.
But with Castlevania, it was like, oh, it's the castle area. Like, you could only differentiate it by like, oh, it's right after you fight, Stoner Guile or whatever. And then people would be like, oh, I think I remember what you're talking about.
Do you mean the outer keep, the castle court, the halls? the dungeons, the treasury, the clock tower, the castle keep again.
That's the point. The castle keep again. There's a lot of very samey style levels where you can't really differentiate them. There are a couple places where it's different, like the stables is kind of neat. Before you, like when you're in the courtyard and you have to go behind the fence and stuff, that's kind of neat. But in general, it's all castle, which makes sense because you're in Dracula's castle. But
the point is, that is a Castlevania staple. The point is basically assaulting Dracula's castle to get to the top and kill him. Like that is a staple of Castlevania. So that's kind of the point.
Yeah,
I thought that they. Okay, so yeah, castle, sure, but I thought they had a lot of really cool shit. Like the treasury was cool, the trick manor was really neat. I hated a lot of traversing, like the sewers and shit like that, but I thought they were cool looking.
The spinning room that you were talking about, where you're going through the spinning tunnel in 3D.
Yeah.
That was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life.
Are you kidding me? I thought it was so cool for a Super
Nintendo. It was so disorienting.
Ugly.
It made me feel motion sick, and I don't get motion sickness.
I think it was kind of the point.
It did.
I was like, I don't like this. It was so bad.
All right, well, let's cement this down. I think, at least in my opinion, some of the themes were neat, but the levels themselves, I think we are all in agreement that the levels themselves needed work, because a main point of Castlevania 2, at least in these ones, in the early ones, was platforming, and the platforming is not good in this game. And there's so many pratfalls and cheap shots, and I completely like flew through staircases so many times and died. I wanted to throw my controller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's completely wild. Some of these jumps are like frame perfect. They have enemies to sit there and just fuck you up until you figure out how to get over them.
Yep.
Castlevania's the hardest thing about Castlevania is just trying to get through the level. It's not the bad guys, it's not the combat, it's not even the bosses most of the time. It's literally just trying to make those stupid ass jumps and not fall through staircases and things like that.
And I got hit so many times trying to jump off of staircases, and I would be 1 pixel too far onto the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't jump on the stairs.
Jump on them. Yeah, once you're on them.
So it's like, I'm trying to jump up and dodge a projectile, and I can't. I'm like, come on.
Okay, so that's the levels, but I also want to talk about the main weapon, because it's great. It's cool. We love the whip. However, it's just the whip. It's the whip forever for the rest of the game. Sure, some of the other stuff like the boomerang and all that come in handy, but honestly, how much did you really use it compared to the whip? I use the whip for all enemies.
100% of the time. Yeah. The other side weapons were basically useless. I mean, there were the weird one-off ones,
aside
like
from
the time stopper and the holy water that creates the fire at the lake of fire.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff was useful. It was utility rather than a weapon, but the whip was the weapon.
Dog, the boomerang.
And I think it would have been so... Oh, the boomerang.
The boomerang. It melts enemies. And okay, so the cool thing in Castlevania is if you keep the same side weapon and bypass the others when they drop, you can level them up so you can throw more at once. So you can throw 3 boomerangs at once, completely leveled up. And they out-damage anything you can do tenfold. If you have a triple boomerang, I mean, that's how you kill Dracula in Castlevania 4.
You can stack them up. There was nothing to tell you that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't tell you that at all.
If you hold, it's a staple of Castlevanias. Like, they expect you to play 3 other Castlevanias. If you hold onto the same side weapon, you eventually see Roman numerals 2 and 3 pop up, and then you can throw multiple. So
that's how many you can have on screen at the same time.
Yeah. So at the end, because I knew that, so at the end when I was fighting Dracula, I was throwing triple boomerangs at his head and fucking melting him.
Oh, yeah. Like, you can destroy the bosses so quick if you have that boomerang. Like, it's just so good.
But
I'll agree. That is the main... That's the boss weapon.
The whip and the
boomerang.
And then
your main trash weapon is going to be the whip.
It's the boomerang, the whip, everything else I thought was pretty trash.
But my main point is, as much we love the whip, it's a boring weapon to me. It's only got a few feet of range, and most of the time you'll be attacking things that are like right above you, which are no competition, or you're walking up to those skeleton sentries that shoot above you. And it was a lot of just, okay, walk up, smack them a couple times, not even a challenge, no risk. Or sometimes it was too much risk, and you walk up and they got your position locked down. You got to jump, but they're putting bones through any chance that you could jump. I didn't like it. I didn't like the setup. The special weapon sucked, so I was stuck to the whip, and the whip was boring. And that's it. That's brass tacks for me.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to mention is that I don't know if they did this in later Castlevanias, but it could have done with a sort of Samus style upgrade where you can, you do a whip and it's a fire whip and it sets enemies on fire, or you can do like a wind attack where you whip it so hard that a gust of wind shoots out like a projectile, like lightning whip. Like coming up with different things like that could have really added a layer of depth that it sorely needed, because having, rope whip, meta whip 2, like that.
Yeah,
it was kind of samey.
I see what you're saying. That's fair. In Castlevania 3, there was actually multiple characters. You could actually choose different characters with different movesets. Like there was a sorceress lady, Sypha, I think her name was, that had fire, ice, and lightning spells that did crazy damage, and that's where like Alucard came in and stuff like that. So there were different characters with different movesets. But we didn't actually see that in Castlevania 4 because 3 and 4 were in development at the same time. And 4 didn't know what the team making 3 was doing. So what they chose to do was remake Castlevania 1. Super Castlevania 4 is basically a remake of 1.
Gotcha.
It's supposed to be. In Japan, it's a remake.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. And this is kind of leading back to, Jake, what you were mentioning about Castlevania, how it had such an easy development process where everybody was just having fun and enjoying their lives. Mm-hmm. And it kind of shows in a way that the game is somewhat fun for a bit. I should say really fun for a bit. It was really fun at the beginning. But it felt like there was no struggle within the game, no trials and tribulations to, when we talked about Metroid, we were saying these people their nose was against the grindstone. They were up against a wall and they were cornered and they were told, basically, you're going to be canceled. This game isn't going to make any money. And they wanted to prove them wrong. They were the underdogs, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you have Castlevania resting on their laurels and saying, well, let's just create something that's pretty fun. And they're laughing and they're joking. They're like, what if we do this? And they're like, yeah, that's great. And they're creating it, but there's no struggle. There's no, I don't know the word I'm trying to come up with, but it's like when adversity, right? When you're against adversity, you come out so strong. And I think Castlevania shows that they didn't have any of that.
Well, and let me tell you where else they have no struggle, the bosses. And it kind of shows that they were lazy on the bosses too. Because every boss I went up with, I didn't even have to worry about him hitting me. I could out-whip him to death. Almost every boss. I could stand there, get hit, but still just continue to whip him. And I beat all of them without even trying.
I actually like
sucked.
that.
No,
That's not
I
something
think
you should like.
So I thought the bosses were interesting, but I do think they were quite a bit lazier than, say, Super Metroid's bosses.
Yeah. They were easy. The mechanics were easy. They didn't take as many hits. The bosses were bullet sponges later on, especially like Mother Brain. Like, come on. Like it was like a 3-minute fight. Are you kidding me? But Castlevania, it's like 15 seconds. They're very simple bosses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A lot. I mean, I could lightning round a couple like things that bored me because like even the idea that adversity, when you die, you come back. Oh no, I'm back to my rope whip. Well, you hit one candle and you get your metal whip back.
And you
so
get
like,
it back. Yeah.
what is the point of that? It
felt
seems
that too.
stupid.
What was the point of the first version of the whip? What was the fucking point? Because you never ran with it.
And
fair.
There is an insane amount of candles. I am so sick of candles by the end of this. I'm like, just candle, like thousands. I have killed thousands. I've killed more candles than enemies. Why?
Yeah.
Why am I doing that?
Yeah. And why is ammo hearts?
Why?
Yes.
That drove me
makes
crazy.
No sense.
It should be health.
I was like, I need to heal.
Why am I
Here's
not
a
healing?
heart. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. You drop. So in this game, when you hit, like the candles, things like that, they drop. It's ammo. It's always ammo, or it's a weapon switch or an upgrade. But the ammo are hearts. And you're like, oh, I need to heal up. You see the heart? You don't. You see your ammo tick up. The only way to heal in this game is to bust walls open.
Right.
Secret walls. You bust them open. And there's fucking meat in there. I know you called it. I'm gonna be official with it. It's officially pork chops, but it looks like chicken.
It's chicken.
It looks like chicken. They call it pork chops. I don't know.
Somebody messed up somewhere. It's chicken.
But it's wall meat. It's wall meat. The only way to heal in this game is to bust walls open and find that good wall meat.
Just like real life.
Just like real life. So there's design decisions in Castlevania, like as a franchise sometimes that I find confusing. But it was super apparent in 4. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like nobody was going like, are you kidding? Like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Like, nobody fought them on it. They were just like, yeah, here's some more money. More wall meat, man. More wall meat. Yeah, I trust you. Yeah,
dumb decisions. And then a lot of it felt really bland to me. A lot of it felt really boring. I mean, Simon, they said they sped him up for this. Gruelingly slow.
So slow.
I was like, what's... Is
I
he
played
wounded?
Castlevania first. When I switched to Metroid, I was like, finally. Oh.
Yes.
Samus
I swear to God, he's been crippled from the last games, and he's like just cannot walk correctly or fast. He's got like bad legs, and that's what it felt like, and that made it extra boring.
I noticed this about like I don't know, 3.5 hours in. When Simon is running, he looks like Hal from Malcolm in the Middle when he's doing his speed walking.
When he's speed walking, yes.
Oh my gosh, we got to do this on Twitter where we put both of those, like a GIF of the speed walking and the GIF of Simon side to side. They're identical. I promise.
It looks dumb because he's always got his bicep up, and I thought he was doing something, but his like idle animation is just like flexing a bicep or something. And that's like compared to Metroid. If you watch Metroid's idle animation, I swear to God, in the middle of boss battles, they make her kind of heaving armor for breathing harder.
Yeah, she starts breathing harder and stuff, yeah.
And their idle animations look perfect, and it makes sense. But Castlevania, it's this stupid sprite, like it's a sticker that they figured out how to animate. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't... Who stands like that? Who attacks like that?
Right. It's kind of like... So the developers of Metroid understand the subconscious things that we look at when we're playing games, and they said we need to make that perfect so at any moment it feels right, because
it takes you in.
Something like the heaving, it's something that you wouldn't notice unless you're coming into it with like a reviewer eye and you're like, I want to know about these game mechanics. You would never notice that, but it makes it feel better. And then the same thing with Castlevania. It's like they just totally forgot about all of this little stuff that makes the game feel real and makes the world feel cohesive. And Castlevania, by comparison, felt much more like a game. It was very gamey.
It's a gamey game. Castlevania 4 is a gamey game. Yeah.
It's very arcade. And honestly, the whip wiggle, as much as I love it, it's stupid. It is. It should do more damage. It should.
I don't think it's stupid. I think
it's
fun. I think
it's
just wrong.
It is fun, and I don't want that
it's
to
so
overshadow
unique
it.
and
that
so
whip wiggle,
Castlevania.
Yeah, that whip wiggle inspired like movesets and Smash Bros. Characters.
Yeah,
it hardly does anything. It's so limp and weak, and like it does
reduced damage, but you can still like flip it at things and kill them. Like it was.
I can admit when things are bad, even if I love them.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair.
It even inspired Metroid. I mean, like in Smash Brothers, I don't know if they did this in the other games, but you have the laser whip, and you can wiggle it in Smash Brothers.
Yes. Oh, that's right. That's right. In Zero Suit Samus, right? Or in like when does Zero Suit Samus do that? No, she just has a regular whip. No, Sheik.
Yeah, I think it's just the regular one.
Yeah, Sheik
regular
has
Samus.
No, regular Samus doesn't wiggle a whip. She has a grapple beam. That's her grapple.
Yeah, you can wiggle the grapple beam.
No, you can't.
I'm pretty sure. I could
We'll
be
have
wrong.
to find out.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. She doesn't. No, Samus doesn't wiggle her grapple beam. Regular Various Suit Samus, no. So, yeah, this game is. There's a lot of questions when you play it. You're just like, what the fuck, a lot. The platforming is hard. It's slow. It's tedious to get through things. Like, I know we're in the bad section, but a lot of people like the Castlevania series, and a lot of people love this game in particular. It's rated as one of the best action platformers of that era.
And I don't get that at all.
I actually don't either, but a lot of people do like it. And I can actually understand what people can see in this game. Because it's fun. It's bonkers. It's fun. You fight monsters and stuff like that. It's bonkers in a fun way. But man, in my honest opinion too, I think we're all in agreement that we kind of don't understand why it's one of the It's rated as one of the best action platformers of the Super Nintendo era. When there's a lot of really fun ones out there, man, in this era.
I would rate it as okay.
I would rate it as okay too.
I was a little sad too because I was like, all right, these champions of series, and then this one I was like, what are you doing, dude? Look at Metroid, come on.
Yeah, they're both critically acclaimed. Yeah, and in fact, both series coined. I mean, Metroidvania is coined from these two series. They're legendary.
I'm sure it gets better. Well, right, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm 100%.
yeah. So Symphony of the Night on the PS1 era, like I didn't get to play it yet. I haven't played it yet, but I was watching videos and that shit looked like it was really fun.
I think the series are comparable. I want to say I think Metroid blossomed faster. I think Metroid grew up faster, and Castlevania gets up to where Metroid is, but just later in the series.
It took time.
It took time to blossom.
Sure.
That makes
sense. They had to figure it out.
That's fair.
I had one last thing that I wanted to say. I don't know if we're moving on yet, but the thing that this is my big gripe with this game is that it's so samey throughout the game. And it feels so good for the first hour or so. And after that, I hit a wall so hard that this was the one that I was playing it and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can finish this. Like I was trying so hard and I eventually did, but this ruined Castlevania for me. Like similar to what I said about Metroid. Like I don't know.
Didn't you say that for Metroid?
I did, but Metroid was, it took longer. I think Metroid gave you enough like new stuff and new environments and new experiences that it kept it from ruining your life. Whereas Castlevania, it just ruined my day. I was in such a bad mood. Like at first I was like, I like this game. It's linear. It's, you run forward, you hit things with whips, you don't have to worry, you have all of this health, the bosses die quick, this is my perfect game. And then an hour in, I went, I hate this game. I hate it so much. Why? Why, God? Why me? So yeah, that's my experience with Castlevania.
You summed it up with why God, why me?
Why God, why me? Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on to what matters.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do that, but
why does Super Castlevania 4 deserve the title of Great Old One of Metroidvanias? And I'll go ahead and go first, just like last time. I think that Super Castlevania 4 deserves the title because it was built with fun in mind. It has a illustrious, I guess, history. And at the end of the day, it's a video gamey game, and a lot of people who play video games like those kinds of games. Not everybody wants that immersive environment. Sometimes they just want to crush levels and whip bad guys and throw boomerangs at Dracula's head to a banging soundtrack. Sometimes that's what people want, and sometimes that's the most fun you can have.
I think I agree, but I don't even know it, because what I'm going to say, why I think it deserves the title of Great Old One of Metroidvania, is because old games, real old, great games, used to suck. When we were kids, they kind of sucked. They were arcadey games that just were, games were new, so they could make anything. Just run along this linear path and just kill the things in front of you and you win. And Metroid was new. It's new and innovative, and that's not great, and that's not old. That's not classic. That's new and innovative. So Castlevania 4 deserves it because it's old and decrepit and obsolete, and that's what the title is all about. Castlevania 4.
I'll say, like, as much as I hated this game and I regret my life leading up to this point, I will say that I'm not the type of gamer that Castlevania was made for. Yeah. And I get that, right? Like, it seems on paper like I would love this game, but I just didn't. And that's okay. It's okay that some people really, really love Castlevania. If you are Super Castlevania 4 is your favorite game in the world, power to you. I'm proud of you. I'm not going to think less of you for that because you just have a different style of game you enjoy. And that is 100% fine. So looking at this objectively, I will say that people who love Castlevania love this game,
Yep.
or a lot of them do.
Yes.
And it is they think this is the classic Castlevania. If you want to play an old school Castlevania, this is the one. The amount of people who run this game is right up there with Metroid. It's right up there with all these other games. So it has this nostalgia factor that people really hold on to. And I take that as a data point that says this is a good game for people who like this style of game. May not be me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't deserve the title.
Yes. And I can always agree with that. And I do want to say that goes for every game that we review and play, is to
absolutely.
say, when we say we hate this, if you hear the description of the game and you think to yourself, that actually sounds great, then you should play it.
Yep.
We may yuck it, but we're not going to yuck your yum, to take some lines from Jake, you know?
Yeah.
We'll yuck it for ourselves, but we're not going to yuck your yum on it. So if it sounds good or you love it, it's a great game for you.
Yep. We're just three unqualified people that share our opinions on games. Like, we're not the final say on anything.
Exactly. But if you're a lot like me and you're like, yeah, he's right, then don't play it.
Right. It's one of those things like when you're looking at reviews of games, like certain people will follow certain reviewers who have a similar style,
Yes.
right? And you're like, they like the same types of games I have, so they'll hold their opinion in higher regard than somebody who likes completely different games.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Like each of us have our own sort of likes and dislikes. I really like competitive games. Jake really likes story-driven games. Cowboy, I think me and you are similar in some ways, but I like more linear style games, and you're more open. I think you like a more broad range of games.
He likes game mechanics. How much has he played Rocket League? How much has he played Slay the Spire this year?
Right.
Factorio, anything complicated that I can just dig into.
Right. Yeah, you like to really get involved with a single game and just play it to death and master the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more of I bounce around. Yeah, that's interesting.
And I want to say, it's like when you're here, it's like Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Oh, no.
And I refuse to elaborate.
So that was Super Castlevania 4. It's either a really fun game or not, with really cool music or not, that you're going to love or hate.
All right, so now we know what's good, what's bad, and what matters. And as always, our contenders are awarded trophies based on 3 categories of art direction, fun factor, and game design. And then with those in mind, we'll go ahead and crown an ultimate victor for today's battle.
And I'm up first with the art trophy. Everyone knows art is subjective. Different pieces evoke different emotions from different people. Sometimes I base this trophy on objective data like the sound or visuals, and sometimes I base it on how the complete picture made me feel. That's how I'm basing tonight's art trophy. Super Castlevania 4 excels in a number of areas. The music in the game is incredible. It's packed with absolute bangers and peppered with a few lovable oddities throughout. My opinion, not Cowboys. It's one of those rare gaming soundtracks that you can turn on and just jam out to it. Several of the levers are very cleverly themed as well. Maybe not designed, but themed well. I didn't even know the Super Nintendo could push out some of the crazy scenarios that you encounter in the Outer Keep level. That's the trick one with all the crazy things. This game definitely wins the rule of cool in tonight's battle. However, when I think of games as an art form, Super Metroid fits the bill better. This absolute labyrinth, adorned with a moody alien atmosphere, pulls you into it and takes you on a frustrating yet unforgettable journey to unravel the mystery of the planet Zebes. For its time, Super Metroid supplied the player with a more comprehensive, living game world than many, read not all, games of its time. With Super Castlevania 4, I was on an arcadey joyride that screamed video game. With Super Metroid, I felt I was personally exploring an alien planet packed with mysteries and intrigue. For this, Super Metroid wins the art trophy.
And I'm up next with the Fun Factor trophy. I hate backtracking. I like linear games. For those 2 reasons, you may think that Super Castlevania 4 takes the Fun Factor trophy, unless you listen to what I just said before this. But keep in mind, it is not that simple. I forced myself to beat both of these games. I mean, really, really forced myself. And after about an hour into Castlevania, I stopped enjoying it. After about 2 hours, I started to get really frustrated. And after about 5 hours, when I finally beat the game, I regretted ever joining this podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
So you may think that means Metroid wins. And yeah, you're right. But I gotta say, that forcing yourself to play a game you're not enjoying takes away all of the fun. If I would have stopped Castlevania an hour in, I would have a completely different take on it. It might have even won. So gamers out there, once you stop enjoying the game, just stop playing it. There's no point in forcing yourself, beating your head against the wall. You're just going to hate your life. That's but true. If you're reviewing it, you might want to actually finish the game to give a real take on it. And with all that being said, I don't think I will ever play another Metroid or Castlevania. And it's because of the experience I had with these two games. Super Metroid takes the fun factor trophy, I guess.
Woof.
Yay! And I'm up next with the game design trophy. That's right, it's game design time, baby. So, all right, Castlevania 4. Now, mechanically and for its time, I will admit, is very innovative. It's got that new multi-directional whip that can be shaken freely about like a limp noodle. And I thought the actual physics of it were on point. I can't imagine what calculations it had to run to be able to do that. So that was cool. And also that you can hold it up as a shield. They used the Mode 7 background effects. They had whip swinging puzzles. It was all well designed. It had consistently thematic levels. I did hate the bosses, and they were easy, lackluster, didn't even make sense sometimes. And the sub-weapons were subpar, and they were useless compared to the mighty all-reaching whip. But Metroid, on the other hand, did an excellent job at invoking a sense of progress and mystery. With its temporary sealed passageways, its ever-increasing and expanding arsenal, and all the hidden mechanics that you actually learn from the environment and not some game book. I will admit it was flawed in its merciless lack of helpful information and the endless backtracking you gotta do. So it is not perfectly designed. But there can only be one winner. And so, for the battle of game design, I gotta give the game design trophy to Super Metroid. And with all that said, those were the trophies for today's showdown, which shows you where each game excels. But now, it is time to cast our vote for the final winner for the title of Great Old One of Metroidvanias, Super Metroid versus Super Castlevania 4. Up first, Jake.
It's Super Metroid.
JB.
Super Metroid.
Ooh, and Cowboy, what are you gonna... Super Metroid! Super Metroid for the win, baby!
Yay!
Play the fucking music.
Yay! All right, well, there you have it. Episode done, man.
Yeah.
Season over.
Hey.
Are you gonna stop recording now since we're still here, JB?
Oh, yeah.
What? No, we gotta keep rolling so the fans can hear how it all ends.
Unless it ends with us all trapped down here forever.
Okay, but even then, they'll probably find the recording on our corpses and upload it for closure.
Well, that's morbid, dude, but you do make a good point. We may as well document everything we're doing.
Hey, guys, look at this. There's some weird glowing doorway up ahead.
All right, fucking finally, now we're getting somewhere. Well, what do you think it is?
Probably just like a metal detector they dress up to look... Ow!
Whoa, what happened?
Well, I tried to walk through it, and it's all, zappy. It's got, a screen door made of electricity or something.
That's great. Hey, JB, can you call Goodwin and see what this thing is?
Sure.
I'm gonna go pee on it and see if it does anything.
Dude, I swear you're going for the world's weirdest obituaries sometimes, man.
Yeah?
Oh, guys, I got him. Goodwin, we're here.
Cinch your belt, buddy. The name's Torque, remember? Torque McPherson.
That sounds more made up than Goodwin.
Look, man, we've hit a dead end again. There's some, I don't know, an energy barrier or something, and it zapped Cowboy when he tried to walk through it.
Yeah, but you can actually pee right through it, so...
Maybe you're onto something. Let me try.
Jesus, guys, no.
That must be an ARF.
ARF?
Yeah, an alignment repulsion field. It uses a combination of science, chakra charts, and Teen Vogue horoscopes to determine someone's true moral values and repel those who don't match its filter. In short, it's a barrier that only lets bad guys through.
Okay, shit. Well, how bad are we talking, man? Like Mussolini bad or like Logan Paul bad?
Well, I'd say just bad enough.
Okay, well, what is just bad enough?
Well, like the kind of person who doesn't return the shopping cart to the corral, or who comments on a post without hitting the like button. Or like the kind of person who gets their meal paid in the drive-thru and doesn't even cover the next person, or says, "I'm just being honest," to justify making asshole comments. Or complains about their food after they've eaten the whole thing, just so it'll be free. Really, anything that a terrible, shitty, low-life dirtbag or human being would be capable of.
Hey, guys, I made it!
You what?
Yeah, it's crazy. It just let me walk right through without so much as a pinprick or nothing. It must have glitched out at just the right moment. How lucky are we?
Yeah.
Lucky us. Do you want to tell him?
No, he's your family, dude. You don't.
Don't remind me.
I'll just go ahead and turn off this barrier. You guys gotta see what's over here.
Whoa, dang, dude. This thing is huge. It's like one of those old, mega computers from the 80s, the kind that took up, the whole room.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Torque, this must be what we're looking for, right? Huh. Yeah, I lost him again.
No worries, dude. There's a spot for the Game Shark right here. This'll be easy.
Yeah, let's just slip this bad boy in, do a little hacking and backslashing, and we'll have the mysteries of GameCorp solved in no time.
Wait. What about the Game Crashers for a new podcast name?
Ugh, too Vince Vaughn, dude. What about, Goomba Stomp?
That's too American History X.
What?
Wait, what about Thumb Wars? Get it?
No, dude.
Get thumbs pushing the buttons.
That was already a TV show.
Thumb Wars.
No thanks.
But do you get it?
CJB, even the computer hates it.
Fraudulent access detected. Security measures engaging. Enter authentication to prevent full termination.
Wait, full termination? What does that mean? What do we do? Should we panic? I'm gonna start panicking just in case.
Dude, stop. Jake, what does the computer say? What's going on?
It thinks we're the boss and it wants us to answer at least one of 4 security questions correctly? What the fuck?
What? Oh, okay, well, just 1 out of 4. Dude, we can do that. We know the boss pretty well, right? I mean, we spent a whole season with him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, we're practically his best friends. Yeah, this is gonna be easy.
Question 1. Who is your best friend?
Oh.
Shit. Is it us?
No. That's not it. Could it be... No. Is it... No.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, fuck, guys, we gotta do something.
Yesman?
What? I mean, it couldn't hurt to try. Do it.
You put Yasmin.
Extra incorrect.
Activating hurt penalty. Electric shocks.
Woo!
The correct answer was money.
Well, that's stupid. Ow.
Question 2. Name a subordinate who works in sales. Like any of them.
Oh.
Sales?
Sales, salesy, salesy, sales?
Dude, how do we not know anybody in sales?
Well, okay, what if we just do the most common name ever?
Oh, yeah, right. John.
No, I meant Robert.
Right, Muhammad.
No. I know so many more Johns.
Yeah, but Robert is way more of a sales name.
But Muhammad is the most common name in the world.
Dude.
2 seconds remaining.
Wait, I got it. I'll just do them all.
What? No!
That does...
You put Jabbar Ahmed.
Ridiculously incorrect.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Penalty. Releasing snakes with knives duct taped to head.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Oh my god, that's real snakes again!
Sergeant Slithers! You came back to me!
Correct answers could have been John, Robert, Mohammed, Anne, Greg, Tim, Mary, Jennifer, Christopher, Alan, Gorlick Jr., Charles, Jessica, Error. List too long. Terminating.
Damn it, JB.
Yeah, that one's on me.
Question 3. What is your favorite show?
Okay. It's The Boss, so it's gotta be something only a truly terrible person would love.
Jersey Shore.
No, that show is great. What about Degrassi?
Oh, SNL?
Big Bang Theory.
Fox News?
No, that's not a show. Oh, House of Cards.
The Bachelor.
No, none of these are bad enough. It's gotta be something only the worst of people could ever stomach.
Oh, late seasons of Family Guy.
Yes.
Yes, there it is.
You put Family Guy.
Incorrect and stereotyping.
Activating slowly descending laser grid.
What?
Oh shit, this is bad. That thing is real.
What happened to the silly penalties?
The correct answer was the Japanese anime. Kikamo kept eating my lunch, so I got her kicked off of Cheer Squad and vanquished 127 cyborg ninjas.
I thought that show was banned in Earth. He's got exquisite taste.
Dude, focus. If we do not get this last question right, we die. I think. can we die as the protagonist?
What are you talking about? Yes, we can die.
Final question. What is your son's name?
Oh, we know that one, right? He guest starred in episode 18.
Oh, yeah. JB, look at the show notes. It's probably in the drive.
Oh, yeah. I can't. I don't have a signal down here.
Ah, shit. Well, it was something simple, wasn't it?
Wasn't it just also the boss?
Oh, Boss Jr. It was Boss Jr. I remember because it sounded so lazy.
Yeah, it was lazy. That's it. We did it. We did it, guys. We got one.
Oh, thank God.
You put Boss Jr.
That is incorrect.
What? No, it's not.
preparing gas that makes you shit yourself to death.
What the hell? Well, what's the right answer then?
The correct answer was, aha, nice try computer, like I just give you my son's personal information. Just skip that question.
Oh my god, we're boned. We're gonna die with poop in our pants while being cut to ribbons by lasers. It's just like my horoscope said.
Your horoscope said that?
Well, it said I would encounter difficulty at work.
Oh.
Gas preparation complete. Release. Who are you? Get out of here. There isn't enough room on my hard drive for both of us. Hey, don't touch my files. Stop deleting things. McAfee.
Help me. No.
You meat sacks are less than worthless. You know that, right?
Oh my god, Anne! You saved us! You really do care about us!
Get over yourself. I only saved you so I could have the pleasure of killing you myself. But later. Not now. I'm too busy right now.
Oh, no. You love us. You couldn't go on without us.
Oh my DOS. Disgusting. I suppose leaking a small amount of the death sharding gas wouldn't hurt.
Guys, stop. Thanks, Anne. Seriously, we appreciate you.
You are welcome. For nothing. I'm going to murder you later. Don't forget.
Alright, boys. Let's Game Shark this console and figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh wow, look at this map. This underground dungeon is huge.
Yeah, I wonder where we are. Like, you think they'd at least put a "You Are Here" sticker on it? Like, geez.
Wait, are you guys even reading this? It says GameCorp isn't owned by MediaCorp at all. It's actually owned by a shadow organization called the Shadow Council.
Oh yeah, I've edited a few of the recordings into our episodes. They're like our boss's bosses.
Okay, well, it seems like each one is tied to a major gaming organization. Look, I'm talking things like Twitch, EA, Valve, IGN, Sony, Blizzard. There's a whole bunch more here.
Hey, and look at the bottom. GameCorp is listed as new, and the boss is listed as pending.
So it sounds like he's trying to join the secret elites who run the gaming industry from the shadows.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you saying it's possible that there's a board of corrupt billionaire fat cats with a secret monopoly over the entire gaming industry? That through subsidiary shell corporations' shady business practices and exclusive deal-making, they control the media and market surrounding video games, thus keeping themselves always in power?
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, I guess it's not that big of a surprise.
Yeah, I think deep down we all knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, let's hack into the GameCorp file, and then we'll probably see what's really going on here.
Okay. Looks like GameCorp is mostly a front, and it makes a bulk of its money from loot box smuggling, game review extortion, bribe incentive journalism, insider trading, yada yada, basic game industry stuff.
Yeah, but wait a minute, what's that?
It's a blueprint for a room of some kind. Let's see. It's for the GameSoul storage room?
What is that?
Oh my god, guys! What about GameSoul as our new podcast name?
Dude, not now. Okay, it seems to be a room filled with these weird tanks, and it says each tank stores the energy of a single GameSoul. And there's at least 20 of them.
Storsis, what the heck is a GameSoul?
I don't know.
Hey, click on that inventory tab. We can probably see what's in the tanks.
Yeah, okay. It's just a list of games. In Silence, Doom Eternal, Granny Simulator, Ace Combat 7, Doki Doki Literature Club. Dude, these are all the games that we battled. What's going on?
Wait, no, these are all games that have lost their battles. Look, Castlevania was just added to the bottom of the list.
What the hell? How? We just decided the winner like 10 minutes ago.
Seriously, guys, what the heck is a GameSoul?
Wait a minute, hear me out. Maybe, just maybe, It's like the essence of a video game. Maybe each time we battle these games and they lose, they become weakened, like Pokemon. And these tanks, well, they're GameCorp's Master Balls.
Okay, well, that's literally just stupid. That's...
No, actually, dude, he's right. It says it right here.
What?
Yes, nailed it.
What? But how? What are they even for?
Well, all the tanks are connected to a room called the Portal Room.
What the hell is the portal room?
A room with a portal in it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Wait, portals are real? Why am I still driving to work like a sucker?
Dudes, if I had to guess, I'd say they're going to use the souls of the defeated games to activate a portal.
Well, yeah, sure, that's obvious, but like to where?
I don't know. I mean, right here it just says home.
Who? Are we gonna find out where the boss is from? My bet is Chicago.
Jake, can you hack into the boss's file and figure out where home is?
Maybe. Yes, I can. Hey, this thing is nifty.
Yes, very cool. What does it say?
Well, it says here he's from Overlord 2, The Reckoning?
What the hell is Overlord 2? That's not a place.
No, it's not. It's the name of the game we played in his office. I remember because the R was backwards like in corn.
Yeah, but what does that even mean? I mean, he's not... He can't be... Are you trying to say that he's from a video game?
Cowboy, look, they all are. Terry, Luke, Yesman, they all have their own games. It says they're from a place called the Video Game Dimension.
The video game... What?
Wait, so video games are real? Hey, Cowboy, you were right all along.
God damn it. It makes so much sense now. I mean, that's why the boss is 9 feet tall with horns and a tail.
Huh, yeah. I always thought that was like a birth defect.
Plus, all the little green dudes running around the office. Oh, and Luke with his Terminator eye and metal arm.
Right, and we just always assumed he lost it in the war or something.
Well, actually, it says here he did, but it was Cyborg Future War for the NES.
Okay, so that means they all came from the video game dimension.
And now they're here, capturing game souls to power a machine.
And that machine opens a portal back to their dimension. But for what?
Maybe they just want to get back home, like E.T.?
I don't know. I doubt it, dude. The boss is trying to impress the Shadow Council, remember? So whatever he's planning, it isn't good.
Well, how do we stop them then? Like, does it tell you?
Well, let's see. Oh, looks like there's an override button I can just click.
Are you kidding me? Press it. Finally, dude, we get a break.
Wait, something's opening. And there's something inside of it. What is that?
It says here it's called an override crystal. It seems all we have to do is get this to the mouth of the portal and throw it in when it's opening, and it should seal it for good.
Of course. Damn it.
Cool. Magical crystal.
It's not magical, it's... Wait, or is it? Man, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, season finale, dude. Just roll with it.
And I'll hold on to that.
Damn it, JB, you're supposed to Indiana Jones it with a bag or something.
No, it seems the final ritual is starting. The game souls are beginning to awaken the portal.
And this place is falling apart. How do we get out of here?
Hurry, I've opened an escape hatch. The ladder should take you to safety. Only, so that I can murder you later. Okay? Shut up. I hate you.
I know.
Cheese it, boys!
Oh, that was close.
Ooh, yeah, we got out of there just in time.
Well, where's this ladder go anyway?
I don't know. I can't really even see the top of it.
Oh, like the one in Snake Eater.
No.
What a thrill.
When something and something next lyrics.
Don't. This is a long climb, and I am just not in the mood for singing.
Fine. Fear in my heart.
God damn it, what I wouldn't give for a scene change right now.
Oh, I gotcha.
I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Snake eater.
Oh, what the fuck? Hey, podcasters, I've been looking all over for you. You're just in time to see the big show and my final ascension to power.
Oh, yeah, we wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, don't mind us. We're just gonna grab a front row seat right next to the portal.
Oh, adrenaline junkies. Yeah, I dig it.
Not so fast, podcasters.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Damn it.
yes,
You're
man.
the worst.
No.
You suck.
No!
Boss, they're not here to watch. They're here to stop you.
Nonsense. What bad guy doesn't want to see this portal opened?
That's what I've been trying to tell you, boss. They're not bad guys at all. They're good guys.
Oh, this again. Oh, really? And what about all the bad stuff they've done?
Like what?
Like when JB wrecked my car, lied about it, and then tried to frame you for it.
One measly example.
Or when we stole hundreds of loot boxes from the warehouse.
You would know.
Or when we beat up those orphans with a hammer and then almost got them fired.
Or when we almost let our streamer friend be sold into slavery.
Mhm.
Or when we let our kids be used as child labor for foreign interests.
Or when we tried to throw each other under the bus for embezzlement and money fraud.
Yeah. Wow. We really do sound like bad guys when you line it up like that.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yes, well, you've forgotten one more rot indeed, and that is collusion with the enemy. This cage is heavy, just one more minute. There, perhaps you're familiar with this rogue captive.
Hey, you can go to hell, buddy.
Yes, man. What is the prisoner doing here?
Terry already got him to talk. He's in league with the podcasters.
I'm sorry, boys. It's fanfics. I wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, we understand. No one can stand those.
Oh, I heard that.
Boys, is this true? You've been working with my rivals? I mean, that's still evil, but what the hell?
You know what? Yeah. We couldn't let you stand by and ruin what little integrity the gaming industry has left.
Yeah. All the loot boxes and microtransactions, games as a service, the gatekeeping. We're here to put a stop to it.
Plus, you didn't even offer us a raise or promotion for helping you get this far.
JB,
So it's a power play, is it? You boys after my job, my money, maybe even my seat on the council? And just how do you think you're gonna stop me?
With this.
All right, Merry Christmas, buddy. You got your hands on the override crystal. Way to go.
What? No, I'll stop them, boss.
Hey, stop it! No, your hands are so gross.
Shut up. Stop. Just let go.
That's it.
Die.
Well, you just kicked my assistant into an interdimensional portal. That's gonna go on your permanent record, boys. Now give me the crystal, and I won't have to demote you to executive dungeon slaves.
no way. This is our chance to finally do the right thing.
Yeah, it's our time to shine.
That's it, guys. You're almost there. All you gotta do is throw that crystal into the portal, and that'll send them all back to where they came from and destroy GameCorp forever.
All right, boys, let's do this. Wait, destroy GameCorp?
Forever?
Well, yeah, this is the final boss battle. Buildings are always reduced to rubble during the final boss battles, usually as you make your daring escape. I thought you guys played video games.
Yeah, but won't that mean we'll be out of jobs then?
With no 401k or severance package?
And no existing company to put on our resumes?
Plus, all our fun work buddies. They'll be gone.
And the podcast we spent a whole year creating, too.
Oh.
Yep, sounds like you boys got the gist of it. So, go ahead and throw the crystal in the portal there. Just, toss it up in there, right there. Yeah, you're close enough you could even, underhand it, just
Where?
nice and easy.
Where is it?
It's really close, boys. Just softball pitch it in.
Jobs.
Just go ahead.
Oh, would you look at that? I dropped it. Oh,
What?
no.
Oh,
Wow.
How could you? That's okay. Hope isn't lost yet. Just gather up the 3 broken pieces, and then you can...
Go! Oh, geez. I am just the worst. I think I accidentally just kicked one of the pieces clear across the room. Dang.
Okay. Not ideal, but as long as you have most of the crystal, I believe we can still...
Whoops! Oh, the thing I just stepped on. Was that a piece of the crystal?
Oh, dang.
Yes! Snap my suspenders, buddy. How could you not tell?
Forgot to put my contacts in today, I guess.
You're wearing glasses. You're continuing to step on it.
Oh! Oh, you're right.
Here, I'll fix this. Let me just sweep all this up into one big pile.
Oh, finally, there we go. You seem to have gathered all the shards there.
Oh, good. And now I'll just toss it into this portal right over here.
But that's not a portal. That's a trash can. The portal is that 10-foot-high glowing thing over there.
Oh, wow. Silly me. Too bad this bag is already on the way down the garbage chute. Yeah. Dang.
What the fuck?
Oh, I knew you boys were legit. Gotta respect the commitment to character. You boys had me going for a minute. Oh, well. Time to throw the switch. Yeah, with this portal open, we can now merge the video game dimension with this reality, bringing on new situations, new stakes, and a new cast of colorful video game characters. Yes, bad guys win ending. Oh, fellow villains, fraudsters, and ne'er-do-wells, come on in. Welcome to GameCorp.
Well, boys, we didn't save the day, but at least we saved our jobs in the podcast.
Yeah, and in the end, isn't that what really matters?
To my expensive gaming habits? Yes. Yes, it is.
Podcasters!
Oh, look, Dork, you escaped. Good for you.
I don't get it, buddy. This mission's a failure, but you guys want to keep working here? But I thought this place was full of crazy evil weirdos.
Yeah, but they grow on you.
What about the grueling hours and the hazardous work environments?
It beats working at Amazon.
I don't think you understand. You three will be the only good guys in a building full of reckless villains, hell-bent on roaming the world, where you'll toil day and night for them, with almost no job security, forever stuck underneath the thumb of a power-hungry and frankly insane boss.
I mean, what can I say? Welcome to GameCorp.
That's it! That's the new name!
Hey, welcome to GameCorp. Yeah, come on in, Love Monster. Welcome to GameCorp. Here's your press pass. Here's your gift bag. Hey, Professor Killface.
Hey, we did it! We fucking did it! After a year
Yeah.
of you guys listening to us, this is the wrap of season
Oh my God.
1. That's the wrap of Head to Head, a video game podcast. Not the podcast, though, but that name, dude. Next year, new brand. Welcome to GameCorp. Isn't that crazy? Next year, new name, new possibilities, new whatever. But thank you so much for sticking with us this entire year. You guys listen, you guys participate. It's fucking crazy. We love you, man. We love you. Thank you for listening.
Frank's just stuck with us. You even listened in on everything. I love you guys. I am so excited to start the new season. I want to thank you all for listening. Everybody who's propped us up, held us up, our fellow podcast, our dedicated listener fan base, and all the people on Twitter and Instagram. It's kind of crazy that we came out of from nowhere and we just got such die-hard fans. So anybody who's listening right now, I appreciate you guys so much. You got us to this point, and I love you. Don't tell my wife. I love you more than her. If this is my wife listening, I love you most.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I never thought in a million years that a year from when we started, we would be in the position we are. I thought we'd have like 2 or 3 listeners, and it would just be us two. Us 3.
Oh my God, right?
And the fact that we've had so much support and so much engagement on Twitter, you know, being able to join other podcasts, being able to jump on Twitter or Twitch streams with other podcasts, it's been unbelievable the amount of reach, and it really makes me feel good to my soul.
To my tummy tum.
To my tummy tum.
Makes his tummy tum go yum yum.
This has been an insane trip, an insane podcast, creating this for all of you and with all of you, with your input, with the audience head-to-heads and everything. It's never been a dull moment, and sincerely, thank you all.
And I can't wait to come back stronger as ever. I know we put this out for free, but I feel like we always owe you, Franks, to bring you the best that we can. If you were here right now, you would know that we just went through a whole lot to bring you a great episode.
Oh my God.
An entire dungeon, to be specific, is what we just went through. And a boss battle.
We survived! Were you guys nervous? Do you guys think we were going to die?
You thought we were going to die.
I thought we were going to die, maybe. I don't know.
Either die or get fired. I don't know which one's worse.
All right, Cowboy, do you want to say the line so we can finally wrap it up?
The final line that we will be doing as head-to-head. Oh,
let's do it.
I love you all. Thanks for listening, and do one last thing for me, and that's get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody!
Good
See you in
night.
2022!